Hello, 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 people. Welcome to the show.
Yo.
It is another Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is square one time. We're going to be one man short today. Anzo has some pressing emergency came up, so he won't be able to join us today. We still got the other three usual suspects in the house, that being Josh, Mr. Movie Aficionado. How you doing, sir?
How's it going, everybody? Congratulations to all you
Also-
GameStop holders.
Oh, dude.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I sure wish I had some of that stock. Also coming in, Mr. Roberto, a.k.a. Men Diesel. How you doing, sir?
Good. I'm here, blessed. How's everybody doing today?
Good, man. Good, very good.
All right.
Nice.
Good, man. And last but not least, we have Mr. Chris in the house. How you doing today, sir?
I am doing well, and really quick, since I've been accused that I can't do this. Josh and I were talking about Joe Montana before the stream started, about his epic first, I think it was his first Super Bowl that he was in, where he was going down by 3, I believe it was. He was in the huddle, and everybody in the huddle says that it was a tense situation, and he was there, and he stops everything and says, "Hey, isn't that..." And I said it was John Madden in the stands, and Josh corrected me and said it was John Candy. Josh is correct, and I would like Josh to know that I apologize for saying otherwise. I thank you very much for correcting me.
Chris, that was very manly, very big of you, and I appreciate that. That's awesome. And R.I.P. John Candy, one of the greats, great comedian.
Yes, indeed. But other than that, Danny, thank you for having me here again, as usual.
Yes, Danny, you're the man. Thank you.
No problem. I thought I gave him a wrench last night. What the hell?
We did. Hold on. Let's look. It should be there. Hold on.
And I do want to say quick, you GameStop holders, man, congrats. You beat the system. It's time, though. It's time to cash in. And you Dogecoin holders, I'm very disappointed in you. All right? You should have.
Yeah, he is. He is, Danny.
I can't see it.
It won't show it in this chat. It'll only show it on the stream chat, like actually on your channel. Yeah, no, he does. I just checked though.
Let me pull it up on my phone.
But no, one of the best. It's one of the best Super Bowl stories ever. I think is that story of them in the huddle and him just stopping everything.
I have a better Super Bowl story.
Which, go ahead.
328. Never forget, man. We were down third quarter, 28-3, and the man, the myth, the legend, the GOAT, Tom Brady, came back from a 28-3 deficit and had our first Super Bowl overtime, and we did the impossible. And
that was a damn good game. I mean, everybody wrote them off, and
in all fairness, though, it was only good because we played so horribly in the first half. I will backtrack a little bit.
Well, but still, hey, you can have a bad half. It doesn't matter. That's why you play 4 quarters.
True. Tell that to Falcons, man.
Yeah, no, I know. You know what? Tell that opposite side of that. Tell that to the Giants, who beat them for their only loss in the Super Bowl that season.
All right, we had to bring that up. I was going to be nice, and I was going to say, tell that to KC and the San Francisco 49ers, who I picked last year to win.
Oh, yeah.
And who were driving down the field with a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter and was like, nah, Pat Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Mahomes, man.
No. And I'm just saying, if you don't play that till that last down.
Every second.
Especially in the Super Bowl, I think. So we're talking basketball, right?
Chris, you
Please
watched
let
that?
me know that I changed my image.
Chris, what's the
take this
local
right
team?
here.
Oh,
Who got
I
that?
thought I swear I was.
Movie
I was-
aficionado and Chris Knight. That's what y'all gonna be most of the show. We're trying to get the show started with the first question.
Sorry, Danny.
I
Sorry,
guarantee
Danny. I didn't know
what
you
y'all
were-
talking about in the show. We got 12 questions to cover.
Sorry about
First
All right,
question,
all right.
Fox, NBA. Here we go.
that. All right.
Joel Embiid is averaging about 28 points, 11 rebounds. Is he finally finding his stride now after being in the NBA, I think, almost 5 or 6 years? Anyone who want to go first about this?
Mendizzle, you want?
I would like to say, just based on his stats alone, you'd have to agree. He's dominating. He's having fun. He isn't crying and showboating and doing as much as he used to do. So hopefully, he matured and he's on his way to proving he is what he should have been.
I agree. Also, is Joel Embiid, what hurt him in the draft is that he's chronic back issues.
Mhm.
And that has been a problem of his. His health is what's keeping him from reaching his full potential. But according to the analysts, what I've seen this week, I went over all the shows, First Take, Get Up, Skip and Shannon. He is now in the running for MVP, which I don't exactly agree with. But based on that, do you think he's finally getting his stride? And Philadelphia is one of the favorites in the East to take it. But I don't know if they're going to be able to pass that three-headed monster that resides in New Jersey.
Right now, they have the best record in the NBA, don't they?
Philadelphia.
I think they're ahead of the Lakers. Their record.
Let me check.
I'm looking this up now. Now I'm clicking.
Click away, brothers.
Because that sounds like what? Hold on.
If they're not, they're second in the NBA.
Okay, let me look. I'm just gonna go to NBA standings. I feel a little bad about it. Yeah, well, they're close. Yeah, no, that's them. They're up there.
They're number one.
They're number one in the East, and let me check the West. West is
But overall,
the Jazz and the Clippers. Oh my God, man! No, the Jazz and the Clippers they're 15-4, 15-5 respectively, and then Sixers are 14-6. So yeah, close.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, the Jazz just went on a little splurge.
I gotta
just
pay more
now.
attention, man. I gotta pay more for real.
I don't think the Jazz got to stay in power, though. I don't think they're going to stay in power.
I think they're just
could be
off to
wrong.
a good start.
Chris, is that your team, the Jazz? The Utah Jazz?
No, well, no. The team that used to be here is actually now. Well, if they still have it, Sacramento Kings. Are they still around? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Sacramento
they are.
Kings was the Kansas City Kings originally, and they moved out there. But no, my team that I do follow a little bit is the OKC, the Thunder.
That's okay.
Because that's the closest team I've got, and so I'm a pretty stay true to the area, and I think it's the closest one we got is Oklahoma City. That of the Denver Nuggets, but I'm not a big Nuggets fan. I love the Lakers and the Celtics. Those are like my teams, but since I don't have one,
How could you? I mean, sorry, for basketball purposes, that's kind of hard to hear. How could you love these two teams who back in the day hated each other so much?
because it was such
I'm
a
curious.
great rivalry, and
Basketball
because
history,
I wasn't associated with either one of them, so I didn't have a pull one way or the other. I liked
I feel you.
I liked the rivalry, and
I
the
just
game.
liked both of them back then.
Danny, I do want to answer the question. I'm not gonna. I don't want to go too far. I think Joel Embiid has been doing really well, not just this year, just overall in his career. I don't think that this is a new thing for him. Maybe
disagree.
people expected. Oh, you think that he's underperformed, Roberto?
Mhm.
Really?
I think Philadelphia has underperformed in a whole.
Philadelphia, yes, but
The whole team.
Mm.
The whole team. And it's between him and Simmons who's supposed to carry that load. Simmons is always searching for something. I don't know what position to play, but now it seems like they've all come together and they look good, man.
yeah.
Everything good,
Go ahead.
Arzo?
Josh. What's up, Bonzo?
All right, cool.
Hey, Anza.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Mendiza. He has underperformed. Big time.
Well, this season he hasn't really. I mean, he's
No, that's what I'm
outperforming his.
saying. No.
Oh, okay,
Mendiza said
before
in the
this.
past, he has
Okay, yeah.
underperformed.
yeah. I mean, he's just under 30 points a game right now. It looks like his
He's
assists are a
28
little
and
low.
11.
Yeah.
what he's averaging so far.
So I mean, he's averaging a little bit above points per game, a little under on assists. His field goals are up this year. I mean, you know, he
Shaquille O'Neal, who has been crowned the most dominant center since what's his name? He used to play for the Lakers. Wilt Chamberlain. Said he should be scoring 32 points, averaging 14 rebounds a night.
He should.
So that's what he's doing.
He's got the size.
He's not healthy. He has chronic back issues. So that is a part of his problem, I believe.
Perhaps he needs to seek somebody that can help him. Maybe try to find a way that better suits him and his size, like his size, his height, his back.
He's like 260 pounds.
80. They have him listed as 280.
Who are we talking about?
Embiid.
Joel Embiid.
Oh.
Gotta lose some weight. If you want longevity in the NBA, you gotta lose some weight. If he can get down to about 240, 235, he'll last longer.
It's the only sport you can do that. Well, I mean, in football, you don't want to be losing no weight, but yeah, I guess basketball.
Well, he didn't even play his first 2 seasons he was drafted, did he?
I believe he did.
I think the first season he did, maybe the second he did.
Says 14-15, 14-15 injury foot, 15-16 injury foot, did not play the first 2 seasons. So,
he has foot problems, chronic internal illnesses problems, and back problems. So first of all, if I was him, I would get a dietitian. I would get a doctor that specializes in whatever illness he has, and I would try and lose some weight. Philadelphia is one of the biggest places in the country known for their food. You got left cheese steaks and that stuff. I'm not saying that to be funny, man. That's going to be Zion Williams' problem. Man, he's in New Orleans. What's one of the main things New Orleans is known for? Their damn food. So you got to be disciplined. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's about the discipline.
You think LeBron knew about his back on that play?
Oh my God!
You get that question coming up. So.
Okay, nice. Sorry about that.
Didn't the Lakers lose to the Pistons the other night?
Pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I think they're on a two or three game losing streak.
Yeah, Utah's leading the division. Was it Utah or Denver? Denver.
Utah. We were looking at.
It was Utah?
Like a game and a half or a half a game.
Spurs are in 5th, to be honest.
They're in 4th.
Oh, they're in 4th now because they won last night.
They're tied with Denver, so it's a tie-up.
I don't know if you had some insider information there, but they're a surprise to me because every time I check the Illustrator, I see Spurs winning, man. I'm like, what the fuck's going on in San Antonio? What's going on?
Oh, my God.
Hanzo sent an email?
Oh, my God. The Knicks and the Cavs have a player. What happened? I don't know what happened. I know what happened.
We were not talking about the Spurs. You brought your ass up in here. We don't want to talk about those Spurs, okay? You're going to talk about the Spurs, stay off the street.
Wow.
I would defend him, but I know better.
Can I get some defense? Can I get some love? What do you mean, bro?
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question without being Phantom Zone? Just one. No, just one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are the Spurs in the NBA?
Yes. Damn, itchy trigger finger, bro. Danny is on fire.
I gotta watch the Spurs on that hat. I don't want to talk about them. Okay, I purposely did not put them in this here show, so we ain't gonna talk about no daggone Spurs.
I was just asking a question.
I feel you, Chris.
I got an answer,
there, man. We're there. I feel you.
I guess a certain team that shall not be named is no longer in the league that we're not going to talk about.
All intents and purposes is Voldemort.
Wow.
The team that shall not be named. Got you. That's
Team
how I
shall
will
not be
refer to
named.
it.
But now, Joel,
Okay,
man.
question number
Oh, okay,
question
never mind.
number 2. 3 closers, 1 ball. Who gets it? Game time is coming up. You got 3 closers on the team. I watch Skip and Shannon, and they say they're the most 3 of the most talented closers that ever been on one team. So, game time, last shots, 2-3 seconds on the board. Who do you give it to? Go on,
KD all the way. KD?
Okay.
That's my choice.
Okay.
I don't know if
Roberto,
you've been watching them
who you
games, but I watched one game and I saw KD like he looked like he's holding back. He's holding back of just saying, "What the fuck, Harden? How many times are we gonna have to watch you do that?" You know what I mean? I saw one game, even though they're all putting up 30. I always see Harden with the ball. I don't even see Kyrie in the picture. I see fucking KD standing on the sideline just saying, "Yo, I'm on this team too, dog. I need some love over here too." Yes,
Last game,
he's getting
there's 89 points. So
yeah, I saw that. I saw that. But they're barely winning games like that, Danny. That's what I'm saying. You know, like if they're doing that, they win by 37, 40 points, like a all-star team kind of thing. You know, they're winning by overtime by 2, and so there's some kind of struggle there.
I think they lost a lot of players making that trade for Harden, right?
They did.
So
They did.
I think their bench is pretty trash. If I'm not mistaken, I haven't watched any games, so I'm
You
not
might be
100% sure. But you're putting a strain on those 3 players if you got nothing around them. You know what I
correct
mean?
me if I'm wrong, Anzo and Roberto. That should make y'all happy because y'all said y'all like the games that play defense. You don't like the high-scoring games. So if they're winning by 2 or 3 points, ain't that catering to what the kind of basketball y'all want to see?
No, because that doesn't just mean it's defense. That means they're missing shots. You know, dribble, shoot, dribble,
Because
shoot.
that's their Achilles.
Not when
Their
they're scoring
defense.
30,
They have no
30
defense.
points.
The Nets have no defense, Danny. That's why they're struggling to win games.
I'm saying they're averaging about 30 points each.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't missing too many shots.
So that means their defense sucks.
Right.
Because you have 3 guys on your team getting 30 points, and you win by 2 in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
You're only looking to score, and just keep outscoring. I mean, lucky you had those 3 guys, because if you didn't, you lost that game. At least that's
absolutely.
my side.
No, I agree with you 100%. You know what I mean? If you got 3 guys averaging 30 points, and I don't think that's been done in the history of the NBA,
Not that I can remember.
Should be like 120 to like 80-point games.
At least.
I'm sure the Warriors have been close with Steph, Durant, and Clay.
They had 5 guys.
I think the Warriors knew how to take turn. They kind of let the game come to them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that right now, in my opinion, Durant has developed into an alpha. And Harden think he an alpha. And Kyrie, whether his medication work on a particular game or whatever, I don't know. The talent-wise, on paper, they should blow everybody out. But like you said, I don't know about their defense. I haven't watched the game the whole way through. I'm going to make it a point this week to watch it, so I can be better, talk better about it next show. But to me, in my mind, it's a wrap in the East unless Boston is doing something.
We are.
That I'm not aware of.
Boston's a little too inconsistent right now.
Like I said, we have all the pieces to have the synergy together. But
Toronto better wake the fuck up. Somebody better fucking listen to me.
Since Danny brought up Boston, they lost to the Spurs the other night, right? I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
We're still,
you want to go in the zone, don't you?
Hey. Anzo is literally the Harry Potter, I guess, of this group because he will say the name no matter what.
We're close, though.
I'm going to give him a shot of this.
He must stand trial. He has control of the Senate and the courts. He's too dangerous to be left alive. I'm too weak.
Have to throw that little. I'm too weak. That was nice, Dan. That was
Well,
nice.
let me ask you this, for real. Did anybody think? And I know the season's like still kind of early, but did you guys think the Spurs would be in at least fourth by now?
I did. I did.
Neither
I'm
did
gonna
I.
be truthful. I ain't gonna put you in the zone no more for that. But I didn't think they could do it. I don't even know who they got on their team other than DeRozan and
Exactly.
what's the center
That
name?
this, LA,
Aldridge.
LaMarcus Aldridge.
Aldridge.
But they
Other than them
have this.
two, I couldn't tell anybody else.
The point guard, Devontae Murray, has been playing pretty good. And there's this other guy that Caleb keeps talking about. I can't remember his name right now, but he stepped up from last year, right? So his defense has gotten a little better. They're calling him like kind of a little quietish type of thing. So we'll see.
Danny, to answer the question, as much as I dislike Kyrie, I would put it in Kyrie's hands. He's been proven to be clutch at the right moment. I've seen it.
I'll answer
time
this
and
all
again.
day. KD. That's my
I'm
answer.
with
right.
them. I'm with Anzo and Roberto on that.
Damn right.
It's kind of
Because-
skill versus fundamentals. KD fundamentals is almost flawless, but damn, Kyrie boy,
Kyrie's skilled like your mofo. I will lie either.
he can
Like I
work
said-
some magic around.
If you got-
the
yeah.
rim there. He's
I was
the
gonna
best
say if you got to
finisher.
pull something out of your if you got to pull something out of your ass, yeah, you can go to him. But
Well, that was the question. So
But you
that's-
see, this is the thing, though.
I
we
don't
got to
know.
remember when it comes to talking about the best in the game right now, it's LeBron, then KD.
Mhm.
You
don't
give
know.
that ball to KD.
a closer doesn't necessarily mean
What
pulling
about
it
Giannis?
out of your ass.
what about Giannis? Giannis isn't Luka.
He's not in the top two.
because
Yeah.
LeBron is not a closer. You're talking about closing
Mhm.
the game. LeBron is not a closer all the time.
If he
But, I
existed
mean,
in the 80s, he'd be called the Iceman.
Yeah.
But that's the
You never
thing.
know.
KD is a closer too. Like he's good, but he's
He
a
is.
closer. You know what I mean? He's
is.
the
Big
one.
man?
You give me the
Oh.
ball. Yeah,
For a
absolutely.
big man, that's a guy like you say. He's a lot like the Greek Freak, but a lot more skilled.
Yeah,
Maybe he's not as big as the Greek Freak, but man, he'll twist up anybody.
hmm
Anybody. You don't know if he's going to dunk, shoot.
And I'll never forget. KD was on an interview, right? And they asked him a question, and all he said was, "Do you know who I am?" You know what I mean? You know who I am, right? He's like, "You know who I am," and that's when you're great like that. That's all you really have to tell people is, you know, my resume. You know what I can do, and we all know what KD can do, man. He buried LeBron in that finals. I don't care what anybody says. He buried LeBron in that
Yeah,
finals.
he
man.
did. He did. Between questions, I'm gonna grab some of these questions in the chat on people that
Absolutely.
them. Osnator said, "I only follow Cleveland Cavaliers, and we're doing okay. It could be worse." But I'm just thinking, y'all beat the Lakers a game.
They're doing actually pretty good, too. They're doing as well as the Spurs, if you want to be honest. No one picked the Cavs to even win a game.
I'm hearing the feedback. Are y'all hearing that? Like
That must be me.
Like a little humming type of thing.
like I hear all of us after we get finished talking. I can hear it being said again.
I turn my headset down a little bit. I don't know if
I'm
that.
not sure.
Let's see.
I don't know if it's
I mean,
me.
it's okay. Caleb said, "Why is nobody talking about Giannis anymore?"
I mean, I still do.
I don't
I
know.
think he's still in the top, whatever, you know.
He's still
I
good,
think
man.
Giannis
but
is-
he
I
gotta
think
improve
Giannis
his
is
game.
overrated. Yeah, I still think he's overrated.
You don't think he's in the top 5 when you're talking about overrated?
You know, if you look at the NBA, and I haven't watched this year, but I just read the other day that like Bradley Beal is leading the league in scoring. You know what I mean? Like, so I got to pay more attention to what's going on in the NBA right now. But if I'm going on last year, I still think he's a little bit overrated.
Bradley Beal's always been a good player. He just been on a messed up team. The Washington Wizards, man, they hadn't seen their heyday since I don't know when.
There was a huge struggle between him and Wall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is Jordan even even associated with?
He's all in with the Hornets.
Is he the Hornets now? Okay, and then they're still in Charlotte, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
He
Yeah.
sold his stock to the Wizards and stuff, and he all in with. I think he's the majority owner, if I'm not mistaken.
Michael,
Yeah, there's no
I think he
more
is.
Bobcats if that's what you're asking, Chris.
What?
There's no more Bobcats if that's what you're asking.
No. I know, but like, what was it? 3 or 4 years ago, they had a bunch of stuff switch around.
Well, they were the New Orleans Hornets. Then
Yeah.
the New Orleans Pelicans came in.
Yeah.
And then blah blah. But it's
They were
just
the Bobcat for a minute too. Then they switched back to the Hornets.
The Hornets, yeah.
yeah, I don't get that either, man. I think that's
I wonder if they'll talk about Lowry coming to third. No, nobody give a shit about Kyle Lowry. Don't say no.
that's your boys up top up
Mama
north.
Bear, you gotta know Danny has no love for this guy. No love.
I'm surprised he has love for the Raptors if he does. Do you, Danny?
I don't mind the Raptors, but Kyle Lowry is trash. I don't even want to talk about that fucker.
Ooh.
The Oscillator. I am still here. I'm just listening in because I am not a hardcore sports fan. We appreciate it. We appreciate it, bro.
Absolutely.
I guess Spurs is one of the things where it will be forever locked away and never talked about.
No, as long as I am on this channel, we will talk.
You seem to know a lot about sports.
He's not wrong there.
I don't know what's going on with the Cleveland sports teams, but we're getting back on track. Just as long as our baseball team is good. Oh my God! Don't talk about baseball on here, Oscillator. This is a sports show, but we don't talk about baseball
Excuse me, sir.
or hockey or soccer. You make honorable mentions on those sports.
Or golf,
okay.
tennis, or volleyball either, I guess.
No. You watch any of those anyways, Josh?
We've spoken about tennis. I know.
Yeah. But you watch volleyball and.
Well, volleyball, no. If it's on, maybe I'll.
Well, I mute it. And I don't
Yeah,
care.
yeah.
I don't care what's going on, but I mute it and I might watch it if there's nothing else on.
I think tennis is fine, but I know if I talk about it on the show, I have to relinquish my black card to Anzo, so that's why I don't even bring it up here. Okay?
Why?
He knows why.
I know why.
Again, mute it and don't pay attention to it. Just watch the
I'm with you, man.
women's side of it.
That's what I was gonna say. If you're talking about Serena Williams and all that, I get it. You know what I mean?
There's some nice looking women in that sport. It's well worth the watch.
Both, but the women are nice. Okay, question number 3. LeBron pushes Embiid, gets a flagrant foul. Was it intentional? It was only his 6th in his whole career. Do you think
I never seen the play. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go look it up.
Yeah, me too.
Now that I really think about it, Danny, it could have been like a reflex, because if you see, he turns around and Embiid's already in the air, and it's like a reflex to do that, right? To protect yourself. I don't know about that little push, because
Embiid was beating their ass in the ground, and then once he did that, Embiid was very hampered. They still won the game, but if you notice his play before the push, after the push, it was a big difference.
Plus, he has back problems, history of back problems,
which LeBron knows about. And they said on I watched Skip the Shannon. They said that LeBron James is not a dirty player, but that was a dirty play. And they're wondering, was it intentional? Because they went back to his whole career, and in his whole career, he averaged a flagrant foul like once every 3 years.
I'm looking at this, and he puts his hands up, and then what I see him doing is Embiid's coming forward.
This is the play right here.
No,
there's a little push in it. There's a little push in it.
Yeah, but
that's
but he's in the air, so
listen,
resist, right?
If you watch it in slow-mo, this is what you see. You see Embiid coming up to get to the basket, and then LeBron kind of is more bracing
himself. And that's what it looks like.
And at the same time, he kind of backs away. But when he's backing away, there's a slight push there. I think what happened is Embiid's momentum carrying him forward to make the shot. When he braced himself, that stopped him so quick it looked a lot worse than it was. And it looks bad when he falls, but I don't think that's I don't think it was intentional. I don't think it's worth
either.
Flagrant. Yeah.
Oh no, if anybody knows, it's a flagrant, but not intentional. It wasn't intentional. He didn't try to injure him. I don't think he tried to injure him, because the play, if LeBron didn't look up, if he was looking at him the whole time and did that, I would say it was intentional. But the fact that he looked up and Embiid was already in the air. It's almost like a reflex.
Yeah. I mean,
You know?
Well,
he
you
Look at
definitely.
it in fast opposed to slow. You'll see it more
No,
in live.
Yeah, I watch both.
It could
I
be
watched it both
like
ways.
a subconscious thing. Like if you have a fly buzzing around your face, you're just gonna be like, without even
That's
thinking
a
about
big
it.
man. That's a big man.
Well, no, I'm saying it's,
like-
like
it's
a
almost
7-foot fly. It's a 7-foot
know?
fly, but still the same thing where it's just like, oh, or he
And
just
remember,
did
he
it.
weighs nothing in the air. So
And this is the thing, right? We got to go with LeBron's history, and since he doesn't have a history of dirty playing like that, you got to at least say, okay, give him the benefit of the doubt, you know?
Yeah,
It's
I
not
agree
really
with that.
playing dirty play like that. His is more so flopping, But
Yeah, LeBron. When it comes to flopping, though, if no
They
one
all
takes
do
the
it,
cake,
but-
but no one takes the cake more than James Harden. Sorry, you know what I mean?
Mad's Mama Bear had to step away, so she's asking if you answered her question.
Which one? The Kyle
She
Lowry
said it
one?
right there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we answered it, and
Danny
Danny answered
said
it by
that-
saying he don't want to talk about no Kyle Lowry.
As I
I
love you,
think you excluded the word.
I love you. You're part of the family, but you are basically wasting your breath when it comes to Kyle Lowry because I think he is shit, and I ain't gonna give him no respect on this show.
I'm with you, Danny. I don't really
Wow.
like him either. I will say that. That is
Wow.
true. I mean, yeah,
10,000 points is 10,000 points, yo.
from a
Okay.
basketball perspective,
He can have 1,000,000 points. I think he's gonna scrub. I don't care. For
that, that would
Don't
make
like
us
the same-
like me the
Don't like
best.
how he get all these millions of bucks. And his hair is fucking peasy as shit. That pisses me off just looking at him. So I know
Because
I don't like
he has
he makes me
peasy
sick.
hair, Danny.
He's got a peasy hair that makes me sick. I don't like
Really?
his hair. Yes. Now, I'm in full haterade mode now when it comes to Kyle Lowry.
Lucky you ain't my show. Your ass would be phantom zone quick, bro,
Just saying, I don't like him.
because his hair is peasy. Not
Well,
because
you
you
don't
don't like
like,
his game. Not because you don't like his game.
Okay, you don't like number 2 because he don't play on the Spurs.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not gonna say I don't like Kyrie.
Well,
and I
you
won't
got
say
your
his name.
reasons for not liking him. My reason for not
I'm
liking
not gonna say it. Oh my god, his hair is peasy. I don't like him. He's
I
too
don't.
black. I don't like him.
I ain't
Oh,
gonna never
no.
say that.
Oh
I'm
no!
gonna say
Oh
gonna never
no!
I ain't gonna never say somebody's too black. I'm gonna say I don't like Kyle Lowry. I don't like his game. I don't like how he look. I don't think he's an all-star. I think he's a scrub. And the peasy head is just a cherry on the top.
Well, he's a champion, so you can't take that
Danny,
away
what do
from
you
him.
think about Kristaps Porzingis? Do you like him?
He's okay. He's a scrub too. Okay, question 4. Future GOAT, current GOAT. Who has more to prove? Anyone want to go first?
Whew, that's a question.
Truthfully, because
I like
of the amount of time that he has left in the league, I'm going to say Brady does. Because Brady here right now is
Surprise, surprise.
what? No. Think about it. Everybody wrote him off. Everybody said he ain't going to. He's done.
No, you wrote
Last
him
year,
off.
no.
You wrote him
no
off, not
did you
everybody.
listen last year? Everybody said it's over. He's done. And then he changes teams. He goes there. Listen, I think that he wants to prove something. I think Mahomes is still at that point that he's enjoying the ride. There is no rush for Mahomes. He's, his age, everything involved. He's going to be back there. It's just the question is Tom Brady is in his 10th Super Bowl. He's looking at being the first person in history to win a Super Bowl with 2 separate teams. I think is that true?
Oh yeah, that is
Okay.
true.
I mean,
First place.
Except for Bill Romanowski. Bill Romanowski did it with
okay,
the team.
but
He's not
okay,
back.
but a quarterback to win with 2 separate teams. I mean that, and I'm not
Bill
saying that that's.
Romanowski, he won with 2 different teams. Danny.
Peyton
But-
Manning went to these teams too.
Who?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did.
Shannon,
Yeah,
Shannon
he
Sharp
did.
too, didn't he? Didn't Shannon Sharp do Green Bay?
I don't know.
and
I can't remember. Anyways,
So then,
all right.
so then what's
there's
so then
several.
what's this with Because weren't they saying that Tom Brady was the first
Quarterback.
quarterback?
Oh no! He'll be the first quarterback or the first player in history. What it is to win with two separate teams in two separate divisions.
Okay.
The NFC and the AFC. Nobody else has ever done that. That's what it is. I mean, there's just, and I'm not saying he has anything to prove, but I think of the two of them, Mahomes has more opportunity to get back there and keep going, and Brady, I mean, there's only so much more time Brady has.
Chris.
I mean, go ahead, tell me I'm wrong.
Can I tell you a story? I'll tell you. Oh no, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You first, Josh.
I'm holding too.
So I'm going to tell you a little story. It's about a little guy named Jared Goff. All right, Jared Goff had done really well with the Rams, made it all the way to the Super Bowl, and he got to play against his idol because Jared Goff is of the age where he got to see Tom Brady, like growing up. And I'm saying this because Mahomes is in the same situation. Growing up, like, oh, I get to play in the Super Bowl with the GOAT, right? Then he loses 13-3 to the GOAT, Tom Brady. What's happened to Jared Goff ever since? What's happened to his psyche and his mentality? Pat Mahomes is in a situation where he has huge money, $450 million. He's playing against one of his icons, his idols, and it may or may not be the last Super Bowl that he ever gets to do this with Tom Brady. If he's young, but if he loses, this could mess up his mindset very heavily.
That's like saying that losing his first championship game to Tom Brady would have messed with his psyche or his mindset. It didn't. The next year he went and he won the Super Bowl.
That is correct.
I mean, this isn't anything. Patrick Mahomes has faced Brady more times than most people in his short career, and I'm
but not in
thinking
this
that.
game, this game.
But no, you're right. But you know what? I don't think he thinks like that. Look at how he plays games. It's like, the reason why they lost the Raiders game is because they always think it's a throwaway. He doesn't ever really seem like he is under any sort of pressure, even when they're close to losing a game. I mean, it's literally like Brady sometimes. These guys have a lot more comparison to each other. The way they handle a game. They are, I mean, and I think as far as to prove. Now, yes, people are going to flip this and say that Mahomes has a lot to prove because of who it's against. I don't think it's about that for Brady. I don't think it's because it's against Mahomes, old GOAT, new GOAT, whatever. I think it's about Brady with himself saying, I left a team that people thought that was more Bill Belichick than me. I left the team that people said I was done and that I was washed up. And I left the team, went to a different conference, and I made it here. I'm going to prove people that I'm not done. He is so competitive that he probably in his own mind feels like he has the world to prove.
I have a rebuttal, but I want the rest of the panel to go and talk, so I'll wait.
Okay.
Cool. My thing is, neither one of them has anything to prove. Mahomes is a Super Bowl champion, and Tom Brady did what nobody said they did. He does not have to win this game to prove that he's the GOAT or whatever. So to me, neither one of them has anything to prove. They're cemented. Now, Mahomes is trying to probably be the best of all time, great of all time, maybe to pass Brady. It'll be a notch on his belt if he does do that. But
big notch.
But he has nothing to prove. He won. He won the big game. You know what I mean? He's going to be in the Super Bowl again, guaranteed. Like maybe not this year. Maybe they go on a drought. But as long as he keeps up being an elite quarterback, he'll definitely be in the Super Bowl sooner or later again. So
all right.
I don't think Andy has anything to prove.
I don't think Goff is a good comparison.
Well, he made it there. He made it all the way there.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the same comparison because it's like people who try to say Baker Mayfield's a comparison to him. I don't think so. I think Baker Mayfield's cockier. Oh no, people have told me. Oh,
that's dumb. That's very dumb.
I know that's what I think, but
we agree.
Okay,
Roberto, what do you think?
Sorry. What was the question again?
Nice. Nice.
Shit. I always wanted to do that, you know? I actually think that Brady has more to prove, but I agree with Onzo. Neither one of them have anything to prove. The only reason why I think Brady has something more to prove is because who knows the longevity? Who knows if he'll ever have another chance to do this? Not only do it, being the first to do it in either division or being the first to play at home in a Super Bowl. There's a lot of first. Mm-hmm. And that's why I would think he has more to prove. Mahomes does it or doesn't do it, we know he's the future. Unless he goes and breaks a tibia or something.
Mm-hmm. Or has like
drop,
but I don't
and I have to agree with Chris too. Goff is a really bad example to use with Mahomes. It's like trying to find a comparison to Michael Jordan in his prime to say that if that happened to him, it could happen to Jordan. I don't think so.
But you know why I use that example.
Would you not agree, Chris, that Mahomes is the Jordan of the NFL? I know it's a bad label to really slap out there, the Jordan of anything. But when someone comes out and does what he's doing, like he's playing with varsity kids, when these are the best in the world that he's doing it against. I don't care what weapons he has. What he's doing, I know you want to hate on it, Josh, but give me a chance.
No, I'm sorry. Because he had the thing on me, so I was like...
Have we seen anything like this guy? I mean, we've seen running quarterbacks. We've seen quarterbacks who could throw on the run. But have we ever seen a quarterback do a Magic Johnson in NFL? He's looking this way and throws it right in the hands of the guy over here. Who's done that? Please tell me.
But you wouldn't say that Brady is more the Michael Jordan of the NFL than...
No, I say he's more
Larry Bird.
Thank you. Okay, I think he's more Larry Bird. Because, I mean, Brady... it's a good... What you said, Onzo, is very good. It's very good. You could go either way. The only reason why I'm going more with Mahomes is because I've seen quarterbacks like Brady before. Not as many Super Bowls, but that style of play. I haven't really seen anybody like Mahomes. Like, I've seen guys run, but unfortunately these guys can't throw. To do what this guy's doing at such a young age when he's not even really in his prime of being a quarterback. Because they say when you hit your 30s, it gets dirty. Let's see what this kid does, man. But I put my money on him.
Yeah, but that's why I would say give him a few more years and see how his career goes before we just say he's the Jordan of the NFL right now. And the only reason why I say Brady is because his records are unmatched. What he did is unmatched. You know what I mean? So to me, Brady's the GOAT of the NFL. I compare him to Jordan because Jordan's the GOAT of the NBA. You know what I mean?
You're talking statistical. Jordan's not the statistical king of the NBA.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Brady's statistically the GOAT. But if you ask a lot of people, play-wise, take away Super Bowls. Take Super Bowls out of the element. Who is the best quarterback ever? I swear Brady's name will not be mentioned. Troy Aikman never gets no love, and you know how I hate the Cowboys. How many Super Bowls does Aikman have? 4?
3.
Three? I could have sworn they said 4, but
no, Aikman has 3.
He talks about this guy.
Yeah, I know, because his career isn't as good as Brady. I'm not speaking about just facts. I'm speaking about the volume of his career. You know what I mean? It's not just
when
stats.
You stay in long, your stats and all that's going to go up.
And he has won Super Bowls with shitty wide receivers. You know what I mean? And if you compare him to Jordan, he makes people around him better, just like Jordan did. So that's one of the reasons why I say he's more like Jordan than Mahomes.
I would have to say give him a couple of more years outside of the system, and let's see, because he came in now and did what he did, but maybe next year he won't look as good. Maybe he will. We don't know. It's just 1 year, right? I'm just saying, when people talk about Brady, they always throw those Super Bowls in there. That's all I'm saying, And yes,
I get it.
No, he has other records.
He is the GOAT. Statistically, he is the GOAT. But a lot of times the guys who are considered the GOAT for stats aren't the GOAT of people of the heart.
Yeah, but statistically He also has
that's what I'm saying.
intangibles too. So.
Like when we talk about the GOAT, it's not just the stats, it's not just Super Bowls. I'm talking about everything when I say the GOAT. You know,
I just gave an
Brady gets
example.
Brady gets a very big argument when it comes to that, though. It's not like it's overwhelming. He gets a big argument against that.
I gave a really good
only
example.
by a few people like Chris and Quentin, but other than that,
I see a lot of Chris and Quintons on the internet, man, and I see a lot of cheerleaders like Josh. And cheers to both of you. Yeah, you are a cheerleader of Brady. You've been nothing but cheerleading with your pom poms. Every time his name's mentioned, you're cheerleading Brady.
That's what I am.
It's okay. It's okay, Josh. It's okay. I'm not arguing. It's okay. I'm just saying. To me, I think Brady is the GOAT, but he has a lot of arguments up there, a lot of competition, and if we have to justify it with Super Bowls, then this guy's the GOAT forever. Because it'll be a long time before somebody does that.
I agree. But
true.
if anybody has the potential to do it, it's Mahomes. You know what I mean?
That's why he has the most pressure. That's why I brought that up. That's why I think so. Because him losing this is a big step down. You got another 5 years to go.
I disagree with that.
Listen,
you can't have a step down by losing to the greatest player of all times.
Yeah. Listen. If he loses, he's going to do the same thing he did when he lost in the championship game. He's going to pick himself up and say, okay, I got to be better. And that's how he thinks. He doesn't think, oh, woe is me, I lost to Tom Brady. Listen, if you believe Tom Brady is a GOAT, then anybody who loses to him should only believe that proves I got to get better. I don't think that would hurt my psyche one bit. It'd just be like, damn, this guy's good.
Yeah, but that mentality.
Okay, listen.
Okay, good.
Look at oh shoot, now I can't remember. Baltimore quarterback.
Trent Dilfer?
No,
Joe
no,
Flacco?
no. The current quarterback.
Lamar.
Cam Newton?
Yeah, Lamar Jackson.
Oh, Lamar
okay.
Jackson.
Lamar Jackson is constantly, everybody, it was like just blown away by his stuff. And then he it's like a lot of these quarterbacks, it's that sophomore curse, that slump and stuff like that. He didn't have that. He just picked himself up after that championship. Listen, that championship game, when you've heard, oh, this man's the shit, this kid is the next thing, and you go in against Tom Brady and you lose. It's the same thing as right now. If it didn't happen to him then, why would it happen now? He picked himself up, went back the very next year, went to the Super Bowl, and won the whole thing. I mean, I don't see that this is any different than that. If he loses, he's just going to say, I got to do it again. I got to prove it to myself.
Before I rebuttal, Danny, do you want to say anything, or can I go?
I'm listening. Go ahead.
So first off, I want to say I wasn't laughing at you. I was just laughing because I named every single Ravens quarterback ever.
Yeah, I know.
But no, so here's another thing that's very daunting, and I'm not trying to shit on your defense, Chris. I think that Kansas City has had a defense. They've risen up and they've done really well. It's not anywhere near Tampa Bay's defense. Tampa Bay's defense is almost elite, and I think that's another hurdle that Mahomes has to get over versus Brady, who is so used to any defense, and I think he can pick apart with the weapons he has with Evans and all that. So
maybe.
despite the GOAT versus the new GOAT, future GOAT, the statistics on the field versus those defenses, I think that
Could I answer on that one, Chris? Could I answer
go
on
ahead.
that one too? I had Tampa Bay's defense in my fantasy the beginning of this year, and I traded them because they shat the bag so many times where they were supposed to be this elite defense. Yes, they had a few games where they played well, but they've had many games where they shat the bag, and it could be this one, Josh.
Yeah, but not in the playoffs.
Battling you all the time, brother.
The playoffs, though, they've been really dominant.
They didn't win.
When's the last time they've been in the playoffs?
When's the last time that Tampa Bay's been in the playoffs?
Yeah. Wasn't last year.
This is the first time.
It's been a minute.
Years.
This is the first time with these people.
Well, this is a new defense.
No. They're the same team they had last year.
Just a different quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And
All right.
Antonio Brown.
All I'm saying is you're absolutely right about the defense and the problems it could cause Mahomes. And you're absolutely right about our defense. Last year, I didn't see how the hell we were going to go up against the two teams we beat. with
Much improvement, though. Congrats.
But no, the thing is for some reason this team's like, fuck the regular season. We're just going to play to keep them from beating us. And yet, when they get to the playoffs, the defense is like, okay, time to buckle down. And you see things you don't normally see from them. I guarantee you right now, these two defenses are going to show a lot more than they showed that first game.
And you guys did to Buffalo, shocked the shit out of me, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what the hell? I don't get this defense. I don't. And I'm always sitting there going like, oh my God, what the hell? And then I see the defense. I'm like, what the hell? Where was this defense during the regular season? But going back to who has more to prove, I still think it's Brady, because Brady, and it's not about, like Gonzo said, it's not really like either person has anything to prove. It's just, there's a lot of, as Roberto said, there's a lot of firsts for Brady to capture, and that just glistens that glitter on the GOAT title.
That I agree.
And that's why.
Well,
$500,000.
If Brady wins, and someone argues whether this guy's the GOAT, they don't fucking know football.
I'll still argue it.
No, you don't know football, brother. I'm sorry. If he does that, that's like saying Wayne Gretzky ain't the GOAT. That's like saying Wilt Chamberlain ain't the GOAT.
I'll go back to what I said before the stream started. I think a lot of what he had. There was a lot of questions in multiple situations. I mean, the guy's good. But if you're only basing it off of Super Bowls, man, if that's all you're going to base it on, then yeah, there's nothing you're ever going to be able to do to stop that from him.
God, I would send it to you right now just for saying that. Okay. Question number 5. Mr. Watson wants out. What team needs him now? What team wants him now? What team will do whatever it takes to get him? Because he is ready to get the hell up out of Houston. And I can't say that I blame him.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say this first. Pittsburgh. Come on. Let's get him. Let's get him, Pittsburgh.
No, I thought he was going to the Jets, and I thought the Jets were in a big running for him, which I don't know if they even need him, because I think Sam Darnold's good, and it doesn't matter. You don't have anybody to throw the ball to either way. So
3 teams.
Okay.
1, Jets, which, yes, I agree with you, Josh. I don't think he'll go. I don't think he wants to go, because there's just nothing there. He's going to be just waiting around until they get something.
No, that was one of his choices.
Yeah, one of his choices at Miami.
One of his choices.
I think he's from New York, but if Tom Brady was there in the Jets, he wouldn't have anybody to throw the ball to or protect him. So you're in the same boat.
2, I agree with Roberto. Washington could really get some use out of him. My 3rd team, because I do not want to see him up there with Pittsburgh. My 3rd team might be a dark horse, because we just brought up the quarterback, the Rams.
Oh, let's not forget the Saints.
Well, the Saints maybe. Yeah, the Saints.
Do you see how many quarterbacks are available? Have you guys seen that?
Do what?
How many quarterbacks are potentially available? There's like maybe 12 starting quarterbacks.
I think that's one of the reasons why Pittsburgh did what they did to Ben. I don't know if you guys heard, but they told Ben that Ben said he wants to come back, but Pittsburgh told him he has to take a pay cut, because his salary for this year is going to be like $41 million on the cap. So they're like, listen, if you want to come back, you got to take the pay cut. And Ben said like he was willing to take that pay cut and come back. But I think Pittsburgh is probably thinking about, right now they're thinking about starting to move on from Ben. So, hey, man.
But did you see that talk about Haskins? Did you see that?
Which one?
That the Pittsburgh Steelers were talking to Haskins.
I heard that. And I was like, hell to the fucking no.
But it's fact. It's not because supposedly there's somebody in the Pittsburgh coaching system that has coached this guy, and they think maybe he could bring him back to who he was in college, because this guy threw for like 51 touchdowns or something like that. He was a stud in college, but he came to the NFL with the wrong guidance. Obviously in Washington, who knows what he could do maybe somewhere else, but he wasn't really given a good chance, you know?
Well, this is what I say too, because a lot of quarterbacks and even like NBA players, you know, when they're in the right organization, they can thrive. You know what I mean?
Right organization, right coach. You're right.
Mm-hmm. So, but still, I'm like, no.
You can have him.
We got Deshaun Watson out there, and you want to talk to fucking Haskins?
Well,
Hell
you
to
know
the
what?
no.
Onzo, I'll say this: if they do, I'd almost say keep Big Ben around for a season to be
One more
the
year.
guy to be on the either on the bench or kind of a mix between the two, and let him teach Watson how to play a little more fundamentals in at the quarterback position. Because I think if you could give a little bit of Roethlisberger's knowledge, listen, Roethlisberger is a pocket passer. He's not a rusher. If he could teach a little bit of that to Watson and get Watson not so happy-feeted, I think Watson could become more dangerous.
You mean?
And so, I mean,
I think he's a stud quarterback. I'm sorry. I think he's a stud.
he is. I just think he can learn a little more of the side that he's not from Roethlisberger, and that will make him even better.
I agree.
Two teams I can think of. The first one would be Minnesota, because Kirk Cousins ain't it, man. They
already committed to him. They committed big money to Kurt, man.
Oh,
They resigned him?
Thank you, Minnesota.
That's stupid. And then
They took that contract
Denver,
on. You did the best favor for Washington, man, because I hated that guy.
the Denver Broncos, that would be another one, because their situation is like, we got
I think the guy they just picked up, though, I think he says that who's the kid there? Not Chase Daniels, the other Missouri quarterback.
Missouri?
Talking college, I have no idea.
I don't know.
No. Denver's quarterback.
It's a mess. They have like three different ones that are like.
Yeah, but they're all young.
Critics say that the place that he should go right now to win the Super Bowl next year would be San Francisco.
I know.
And I can see that, but I don't think they're going to, because there was too many things that happened this season for San Francisco to believe that they need that guy.
I can't think of the commentator from First Thing First, but he was saying that he would give up his first
round picks
for like the next 2 or 3 years.
Ooh.
That's what he said?
To get Deshaun.
I don't know about first. Maybe
he said he broke it down like this. He said,
"Oh no, there's going to be a couple of firsts for him."
He said Jamil Mack that went from the Raiders to Chicago got 2 first-round picks. Who was the other guy? It was somebody else. They got 2 first-round picks. He said, if I could get those 2 guys or Deshaun Watson, I would pick Deshaun Watson. So at least he's worth 4 first-round picks. If you got 2 players that you give up between the both of them 4 first-round picks, Deshaun Watson is worth both of those guys. So he's at least worth to some team 4 first-round picks.
It's going to be
several teams.
3. It could be minimum 3.
They said he would be that. He said the contract they would make is they would get his first round picks as long as he stayed on the roster. If he went to another team, then the contract would be null and void. So
well, you see, if that's what the contract would be, you'd have to think of teams that could possibly weather losing 3 first rounds.
I see Schneider doing something like that. Because he's taking a lot of money for guys on their way out.
Yeah, 2 in my mind right now would be New Orleans Saints. I think Drew Brees is gone. And I think he could do well in San Francisco. And if Ben Roethlisberger leave, he could do well in Pittsburgh. I don't know if he can stand the cold. I don't know about that. But New Orleans in the dome, San Francisco, I think he could do well.
And San Francisco's pretty young, right? So maybe to lose 4 first-round picks won't hurt them as much. But, man, any team that loses 4 first-round picks it kind of hinders a lot of things on your team, man.
Any team that's in a rebuilding or needs to fix their crap, like the Jets, that takes them out because they need those first rounds. They're not going to be able to. I don't think San Francisco, because San Francisco, like I said, they had multiple injuries this season. If you think about the COVID issues, they had problems with that this season. Their record and their performance this year, I don't think is a good measure of what they're able to do.
So I don't think fast on Garoppolo, man. That's so funny.
But I will say that this isn't regular time, so I don't really want to compare like teams, like any team like this year. I mean, you
Yeah.
understand what I mean? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
no preseason, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Nothing like that. So they didn't really get that good chemistry. But there has to be some changes because we still got an idea of what some teams were missing and what their problems were. So
I would
It's
not
pretty
go
evident
to.
this team needs a quarterback.
I
We
think
got a lot of
Washington is a
money.
good fit.
We're up and coming. We got a coming defense. There's a lot
Tammy,
of
would you
good
take him?
things. I would take him in a
I
heartbeat.
would
Absolutely.
definitely take him.
absolutely.
I would definitely
Okay.
take Deshaun Watson as a Redskins fan. But I'm saying if I was his agent, I would be flying my ass to New Orleans talking to Sean Payton. You got a better
agree.
Yeah,
coach.
but
You got a
That is-
first round running
I have
back.
to-
And you got a number
I have to
one.
agree.
Josh, what were you saying about that? Because we mentioned it, and I
Taysom
think you were trying.
Hill.
Yeah,
Taysom Hill is unbelievable. I think he's a starting quarterback. He ain't no.
I think
he's the
I
best.
think that's
You're
it
right.
too. It's
Without a doubt.
he's already there. He's already there.
You are correct.
If I'm Deshaun
I
Watson,
don't
I may
think
be
Daddy's going to
saying,
put his future in him. I don't think
You
New Orleans is
should.
putting their future in
Taysom
him.
Hill is amazing, and everybody that
I'm just saying.
hated on Taysom Hill,
I'm
he,
just saying.
what he did in college was an anomaly, man. And what he did now in this league to come in for Drew Brees and dominate teams the way he's dominated, I think.
And they used him as a wide receiver. So
Yeah, he's a great utility guy. I won't lie. But
he has
his
everything.
arm is questionable. His arm is
too short.
I think
I won't say
that
anything about short because Doug Flutie was too short. And if they never took him
Warren
out
Moon
of
was
that
too short.
game, they
Russell
would have
Wilson's
won
only-
that game.
Yeah,
Buffalo
Russell
was-
Wilson's 2 inches taller than me.
well, if I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm going to look at it this way: if you want to go 4 teams, the 4 teams that are most desirable, I guess. I guess Pittsburgh would be interesting. Washington would be kind of a good idea. Boy, I mean, I still think if you could talk him out of it, I still think LA because of its speed on it's kind of a speedy offense. But if he's talking about the Jets, I don't think he's thinking about this because if he goes to the Jets, it's on him. If they don't win, they're going to blame him. It's not going to be his. It's not going to be his fault, but they're still going to blame him. They're like, "Oh, we got Deshaun Watson. We should have been to the Super Bowl."
It's
That's
going to
how
be a worse situation than he has now.
exactly. And I don't think he will do that. I think his agent will look at him and go, "Like, you are not going to go there." Especially if they have to give up 3 first-round draft picks,
they'd have to
they're
give
never going to
him-
have anybody there.
You have to give him an insane amount of money for him to go there. I mean, insane. And that ain't going to happen.
But then Roberto makes a good point. Washington has a history of throwing everything they can at a person if they want them there.
Yeah.
And I think that's something you got to think about. And listen, oh shoot, now I lost his name. The quarterback that got hurt, Alex Smith. Okay, Alex Smith. When he was in there, that team looked pretty decent, if not pretty good. You give them a quarterback. You give them a quarterback like Deshaun Watson. I'm sorry, and then and here's another crazy idea, and I don't want to see it, but here's a crazy idea for you. How about Dallas Cowboys?
I was just
Okay, and then give us Dak Prescott.
Well, you see, but
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to get Phantom Zone. So I
We'll take Dak. We'll take him. Fucking
I'm
right.
just saying, there's some crazy moves that could be made in this. This offseason is going to be really interesting.
I agree.
What happened to Alex Smith though, Roberto? Did he get hurt again?
No, it's
his
just that,
his calf was still.
his calf went on the same leg that he injured. When he goes
They're just-
down, it's almost like everybody and Pudding knows that Washington's gonna lose. Just tired of that. I'm just tired of that. I like to know that we have a threat. We have a combination of a quarterback receiver tandem. We have a good running game. We have good defense. It's been so long since we had a marquee quarterback. It's been so long. And we're in a division where we need it.
Yep.
Yeah, RG3 for 1 year, a little bit.
Yes, and it felt so good. It felt like I looked at Dallas fans and said, "You guys are scared, huh? You guys are scared." That was over.
Imagine if Prescott stays in Dallas and comes back and he's healthy and what he was like. Not I won't say this year, but just just a smidgen
general.
under this year. Imagine that, and imagine that, and then imagine Watson being in Washington. Can you imagine the games you're going to get from that? And the thing is Washington, their leadership, their ownership thinks about those things. They're like, dude, that's big bucks as TV ratings would go up. That's big bucks because it'll get people in the seats. No, that's how Dallas and Washington. Oh, I'm sorry.
Danny. Really, Danny?
Yeah.
But I think that that Washington and Dallas, their ownership groups, think about that. So, what the hell is that?
It's a lollipop.
That looks like one of my favorites. Man. Yeah, those are my favorites, boy.
What is it?
Those are good.
I'm
Anyway,
Yeah, they just like dissolve. You bite them and they just dissolve.
Watson wants out. The Texans say they don't want to let him
shame
go.
on Houston. Shame on Houston. You guys.
They say they don't want to go. If they keep him there, you're going to get another one of the Barry Sanders situations. You're going to get the Le'Veon Bell situation. You're going to have a guy that's just not going to play. Yeah, I'm just saying. I think they need to say, okay, fine. What can we get for this?
But you see, that's the thing. I believe there will be a team that will make an offer that they just can't refuse.
I hope so.
Yeah,
And you guys got to remember, oh, sorry, go ahead, Danny.
Jimmy Johnson was on First Take this week, and he said that if he was the owner and the coach of Deshaun Watson, that he would go to his house, invite him out to dinner, buy him a beer. He said a Michelob Light Ultra, a Michelob Ultra to be exact, and would throw everything at him. Look, what can we do? What do we need to do in order to keep you to stay? He said that is the smartest thing he would do if he was the coach, and I trust Jimmy Johnson.
But that's
Whether or not they're going to do it or be able to keep him, because he got a lot of family in his ear. He probably got his
agent
in his ear, and then
Who's
he's
his agent?
unhappy. I don't know who his agent is.
I'll look it up.
Maybe with Clutch Sports, if I'm not mistaken. And
Well,
they don't. So
He's upset with administration. He's upset with GM, in
when he
between
had a-
GM and owner.
What the first mistake when they traded Deontay Hopkins? Why the hell did they do that?
That was a big mistake.
Stupid.
And giving that guy
That's what I mean,
power
yeah.
of GM and coach because he
Then
created
let
monster.
then they let Clowney get away.
Oh my God.
Mistake number 2.
Very silly. I feel bad for JJ Watt. He's been one of the most dominant defensive players, and they've.
It's funny you bring that guy up, Josh, because this year JJ went up to Watson and apologized to him for the performance of the team because of what the organization gave him to work with. They had potential to do stuff there. They had a solid defense, a solid offense. I just think their coach sucked, and he was out there to sabotage that team.
Yep.
JJ Watt wants to play in Pittsburgh because
With his brother.
his two brothers are in Pittsburgh.
Oh, two brothers.
Yeah, there's 2 brothers in Pittsburgh because I've seen a Watts. I think it was on offense the other day. I said, "Who the hell is this?" Yeah, it's special teams, right? So he wants to go there and play with his 2 brothers, and give us all 3 Watts, bro.
Here's another thing I just saw. So it's David Mulieta. That's his agent. And they said that he was rumored to be with him in New York watching a Brooklyn Nets game. But they found the 2 in Philadelphia buying a new car. How about the Eagles? I mean, I don't want to see but I saw that. I'm like, ooh, the Eagles. I'm like,
That
the
would hurt.
Eagles.
We
might
don't
fit
want
there,
Wentz. We don't want Wentz.
I know.
We're not scrapyard football team.
But I'm just saying.
I'll take Wentz because Wentz is playing with the ghost of doggone
I'm
Foles.
sorry, Danny. I have to
Foles,
disagree with you. Foles. But I have to. What I saw this year, I
You
don't
gotta remember
want.
now. Okay, but you gotta remember, before he got hurt, he was on an MVP season. He got hurt, then his backup takes him to the Super Bowl. These mofos put his stature of the backup in the facility. He gotta walk past that shit. And
You're
quarterbacks
right.
receive Madonna, and they got egos. That's his ego.
That's damaged goods. That's damaged goods.
But maybe if he started off somewhere else, he might be better.
I hope
Here's
so.
another-
The AFC. Go to Denver.
Here's another question. Do you guys think, and I don't know if I'm the only one who watches college here, do you guys think that the Jaguars will get rid of Minshew and take Trevor Lawrence, who's one of the biggest prospects, who plays unbelievably, or will they trade their number one pick to get somebody else to
No,
another
they're
team?
gonna get Trevor Lawrence. I think
Okay.
he
right.
came from Clemson. He got name notoriety. He
Won
looks the
national
part.
championships. Yep.
They just hired a college coach.
Yeah.
You like he's from Florida, long hair, beach bod. They're gonna take him.
Well, he's playing the South in Clemson, so he's used to that. All right.
All right, we've been a good bit of time on this question. Let's go to the next one. This one is for Alonzo.
Oh, really, Danny? Really?
Is Ben done in Pittsburgh, or will he take a little less to get more talent?
Did you
Now,
freaking
I
search
will-
for that picture, Danny?
Hey, that's all I can find, man. That's all I can find.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
I searched for 4 hours trying to put this show together, get these thumbnails right, and that's the only picture I could find.
I could have helped you, Dan. I could have photoshopped
There was
that burger.
none with the Big Mac.
I could have photoshopped it in.
Yeah, that's the picture he was looking for with the Big Mac.
Tuesday's going to be interesting.
Oh, shit.
Danny,
I
I'll
gotta-
fix it for you.
Alonzo, I gotta be honest.
Oh,
I
no,
punched
tomorrow's going to be interesting.
I put in Ben Roethlisberger eating, and that's what popped up, bro. I was
I'm
hoping
gonna say this
for a McDonald's picture, but I
Right.
couldn't find one. So I took
because
the
you
next
know him eating that chicken leg means that was a Thanksgiving Day game that they won. So I'll accept that.
Nice.
That's the turkey leg, bro.
You want to go
Let me say
first,
one
Alonzo,
thing.
on this?
Let me say one thing quickly. They said Ben Roethlisberger has made in his football career $250 million.
$1 billion, yeah.
Let that sink in. $250 million. So I don't think he hurt.
No.
So if it's going to help him get a Super Bowl, because they have a Super Bowl caliber team, because they went 10 and whatever, if they can get another receiver, a runner, whatever piece that they need to get him across the hump, he would be a fool not to take a pay cut. Now, whether or not he's going to do it or not, I don't know. And I don't think Ben Roethlisberger, we give him a lot of grief, I don't think he's dumb and stupid with his money. So if it were and I think I had one last hurrah in me, I would take that pay cut to get somebody on the team that is a skilled player, or a receiver, some kind of defense specialist, whatever you think you need to try to get me to the Super Bowl.
And you see, that's the thing. Ben had already said that he was going to do that. He said he wants to come back and play. He'll take the pay cut. And I agree with that because we don't just need a wide receiver. We need a running back, man. We need a running back. Connor is not the guy. He's not.
I'm glad you say that. You wish you had Le'Veon Bell back now, don't you?
Hell no.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Le'Veon
me
Bell,
Alvin
number
Kamara,
one
man.
running. Le'Veon Bell was number one running back until his players. I won't say Tomlin, until his co-players start getting in there about his money. I'd be a fool if all five of us on the team and I'm worrying about Roberto or Chris mate. That ain't my business.
But it's not about what he made. He was holding the team hostage.
But they were vocal on interviews. So I saw.
Yes,
it.
I know that. I know that, but it was because he was holding out. It's not like they were just saying, "Oh, he make this much money." It's no. The start of the season came around, training camp came around, and he was holding out.
Okay.
And you could say, and then you could say what you want to, but where is Bell now?
Let me ask you this question: me and you teammates, we boys. I'm Le'Veon Bell. You, whoever you want to be on the team. I say, look, man, I'm a running back. My shelf life is only 10 years. I'm trying to get a big contract. I ain't trying to hold team, man. I'm trying to get my money. Would you be mad at me about that?
Listen,
Or would you vocalize that on TV after I told you?
it all depends, bro. If we got a championship caliber team and Pittsburgh is a family oriented team, then you're not being part of the family. Yes, I get it. You want your money, and I have no issues with that. But at the end of the day, I'm like, yo, we need this guy to win a championship, and he's holding out on us. And if we don't have him, we have no running game. Of course you're going to be upset, bro, because these guys are looking for championships. They're not looking for the money anymore. You know, a
I'll
lot of these
straight
guys
up like this. I'll tell them straight up like this. Are you here for the money or are you here for a championship?
exactly.
You're here for the money. Go play for one of those shit teams that doesn't have a chance in the world.
Okay.
They'll pay you a whole lot of money.
Which he
If you're
did.
here for a championship,
I-
cut your money and stay here, bruh. I'll put a ring on you. Then you negotiate your money. But get that ring.
Exactly.
I
Get
hear
that
y'all
ring.
say that. I hear y'all say that, and I respect y'all opinion that. But we all heard the horror stories, about there's no retirement. There's no life after football. Some of these players can't have walk or talk. So how about if that's one of you, somebody that you know that they done put in the Let me change this. The running back is one of the most damaged and most aggressive positions, and they got the shortest lifespan of any position on the field. So if we boys, I would feel some kind of way if I come to you, Anzo and Roberto, and say, "Look, man, I know we got a chance to win this ring, man, but I'm trying to get this because my family need this. Without me, it don't work. I am the gasoline."
There are
But
several.
the thing is, sorry, Chris, just one thing. But the thing is, Pittsburgh offered him a big contract. He wanted more. He had that offer. It's not like they didn't offer him a contract. They offered him a big contract, and he said no. He wanted more, and he left to play for only like $4 million more than he was offered from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
A few things here. First off, to answer your question, Danny, here's the thing. That's the NFL Players Association that needs to work on that. They need to work out something where they can help their players have a retirement. Two, that's the players' job. If you're going to retire, if you really want to retire, there are plenty of players who have made themselves into millionaires after the fact because they knew they weren't going to play forever. And they said, I don't need that new car. I don't need that huge house. I'm going to stay in a 4-bedroom home. I'm going to raise my kids. Or they might go to a private school, but they're not going to go to the most expensive private school. They go through things and say, I can get what I want and I'm going to be happy with what I have. But when I leave the game, I'm going to be ready to live life. I'm not. Luck. Andrew Luck is a perfect example because he was asked, well, why are you leaving? I mean, you still got plenty of years. He says, because now is the time to do it because I don't want to be that guy who can't talk or has that gimpy hand or something because of my playing. And from everything I've read, he had investments. He was playing to have that happen. He was going to leave when the moment was right, and he picked it, and he's gone. And I guarantee you, he's not going to be done. Somebody will probably pick him up, give him a contract to do commentating on the lower end schedules. But I want to ask you, Anzo, and I'm not trying to poke fun at Ben. I'm not trying to say your team sucks. No, honestly, I want to know. Do you think the last 4 or 5 games of this season were indicative of the team, or was that indicative of he just doesn't have enough to get through it?
I think he lost his arm. I don't think he has as powerful an arm as he did, right?
Okay.
You could see because they were doing all these little short passes. But it also, when you don't have a running game, you're putting all of this pressure on a 40-year-old quarterback.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's a big issue for Pittsburgh. That was one of their biggest problems.
I still think that
to a 24-year-old quarterback, if you can't get a running game in there,
true.
you have no play action. You're eliminating a whole lot of plays, man.
Yeah.
Focus on you.
I still think that a second quarterback there, at least to start learning the system or something, or somebody that if he gets hurt or if he just doesn't have it, if he just comes out next season and lays an egg, they need somebody there that can step right in. And again, I think that brings us back to like Watson. That's why you guys could really use Watson, is because even if Ben can do it, I mean, I think if you give him the money and say, hey, I know you want to play, but let's, and you can run Wildcat with Watson. I mean, you can change up some plays.
Stafford.
You see, they got to look for the future now because what I seen from Ben, if they don't get that running game on point, 1 year, he'll come back for that 1 year. If they don't have a running game in that 1 year, there is no way Ben can consistently hold that team.
So they hold on to him, don't trade for Watson, and they use their picks for what? A running game and a wide receiver?
I think Ben takes a pay cut, right? And he takes a big enough pay cut where they can pay a wide receiver and a good running back. You don't have to get a number one wide receiver.
You need a running back more than a receiver.
I agree. But Juju Smith is not that guy either. You know what I mean? So
No, he's a good number 2.
yeah, exactly. So I'm saying, listen, you may not be able to afford a running back and a number one wide receiver, number one running back. Get another number 2 wide receiver. Ben has those little short passes which have been working, but you get a number 1 running back, right? You get someone that can break through that line and do a little deeks and get you 5 yards per carry. Steelers will be okay with that.
Because look at Green Bay, look at Buffalo. You got stud quarterbacks with 1 receiver, and they still manage to get work done.
I agree.
You don't need 3 receivers on every team. You just need a good quarterback to build a relationship with a stud receiver, and the other guys get open.
Facts.
Just to make a rebuttal, was earlier what Chris said. I agree with you that the NFL, the NBA needs to have some kind of retirement system, but that hadn't come to play because the mindset, from what I've been told and what I'm hearing, is that they get millions of dollars, so they should be able to budget saving.
Well, the NBA. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Finish. I didn't disturb you.
I know.
The
I'm
reason
sorry.
why that ain't true is because you come from these ghetto neighborhoods, country boy neighborhoods out in the farm. You don't know about that stuff. And I can speak from experience because when I went to Marine Corps, I thought I had checks in my checkbook, so I had money. So my checkbook was like daggone ping pong, basketball, tennis, all across the base. So my dad first started to grab me up and say, "Look, Danny, you better bring your ass in here. Let me show you how to bounce this book and stuff." They don't show these guys that. And I can name you 6 players right now that are broke. John Starks, Sean Kemp, Antoine Walker, Larry Johnson, Latrice Sprewell, Scottie Pippen. Millionaire several times over. So that is why I'm saying.
You got to take Antoine Walker out there because Antoine Walker was broke. No, Antoine Walker was broke, but he started a business and now he's back up there. So Antoine Walker did something after NFL.
I'm saying they were billionaires multiple times over and lost their money because they don't. Andrew Luck, Magic Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, what's the other guy? Michael Jordan. Those are anomalies.
Yeah,
most of the players that come in there and make that big money, a large percentage of them lose it within 2 or 3 years when they're out of the NBA or the NFL.
But that's on the player, though. That's on the player. You get that money, you gotta figure out what you're gonna do with it, bro. You can't just be look at these guys. They buy 10 cars. Who the hell needs 10 cars?
Yeah. I think that
I agree with that, Alonzo, but let's say one analogy start to Chris. I'm sorry. I agree with that, Alonzo, but if you're a young 17, 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid, and you got somebody that ain't about your best interest, ready to spend the money as much as you do, they ain't trying to teach you nothing. And a lot of times, and let me end this. I'm now 50 years old. It took me in my late 30s and early 40s not to live from paycheck to paycheck. To finally get it in my head, then you got to start saving stuff.
I agree.
I'm playing with a little bit of money. So can you imagine something millions of dollars every time they go to the doggone game, they get a check that's 6 figures.
I
so
absolutely
you think it's gonna last forever. If you don't know, you're gonna blow the fuck out of that shit.
I absolutely agree with you 100%.
The players' associations
has to put something in place to teach these young kids how to manage their money. Right?
That's what I'm saying.
Listen, collective bargaining could do, hey, your first 5 years, whatever your contract is. I know the chances of this going through is not very good, but they should put something in that says you're going to put so much of your salary away and start offering these courses to teach them this is how you handle money. We understand you think, okay, you want to take care of your mom, that's fine. You don't have to buy her a 7-bedroom house. We'll help you find a place. I think that the MLBPA started doing things like that, and they've seen less of it from the major leagues. The NBA, I think, started stuff like that.
They did.
And the NFL should be doing that too. They need, listen, that's not going to fix everybody. It's not. You cannot tell somebody what to do with their money.
Absolutely.
But you could certainly say, hey, we suggest coming in that you put so much of a percentage of your money into some sort of a retirement fund. But yeah, I mean, it's bad news when it comes to that. But
And
Yeah.
and I agree with that, right? Because when the NBA went on strike, and I'll never forget this, there were players that had to go back and live with their moms. You know what I mean? So even with that, right? Even with that, when that happens, and you like, yo, I make all this money, I got to go live back with my mom. That should put something in your head to say, okay, I cannot repeat this again. I have to do something better with my money so that if the NBA does strike, that I don't have to go back and live with my parents.
Hey,
See, that's a mindset too, Alonzo, because a lot of these NBA players, based on stories I've heard, they are the only source of income in a whole community of people, not just a family. But say, for instance, me and
yeah,
you brothers, I'm paying for you, your lifestyle, Chris lifestyle, Roberto lifestyle, Josh lifestyle, and
That's
all that
what
but
kind
they
of
need
stuff.
to learn it's not their job to take care of everybody.
exactly right. You got to draw the line somewhere.
You
That's
know,
what made me like
if
that
you want to
kid.
put some money back into your community, put money back into your community.
I
If you
agree.
want to,
I agree. I'm just saying, kids that young and that age don't have the experience, the wisdom that we have here on this panel. That's what I'm saying.
well,
No,
they also pick the wrong people to get advise them lots of times too.
and you're absolutely right. But that's why the NFL should have a course to say, listen, they don't even have to make it mandatory. They can make it voluntary, but at least have a course there where some of these players who want to learn how to manage their money can do so. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. All right, let's go to the next question. I had enough fun at Ben's expense. Um, question number 7. Max Kellerman said to Jimmy Johnson on a recent show this day on First Take that, let me take this off.
Yeah,
Let's see what
please.
the bottom is.
Ooh.
That Jimmy Johnson cursed the Cowboys. Is it the truth or is it a lie?
How so?
He said that after um, the owner fired him because of his ego, because he felt like Jimmy Johnson was getting more praise than he was, that
Yeah.
when Jimmy Johnson left, that he cursed the Dallas Cowboys.
I believe it because there was no reason to fire him. No reason to fire him. They were riding high with him.
I would like to say yes, but they did win a Super Bowl without him.
Well, there's
Yeah,
that.
but a team that he built.
That was Jimmy Johnson's team, though. Jimmy
No,
Johnson.
Yeah.
I know that.
Okay, fine.
But if he was cursed, if they had cursed the team, they wouldn't even have won that Super Bowl.
No.
Plus, it doesn't
He
make
ain't saying-
sense.
He ain't saying that he cursed him. He said after he left, he put like a curse on. Okay, I curse you, Dallas Cowboys. Y'all won't win for another whatever. Boom.
Yeah, I get it. But if there was a curse, that's what I'm saying. If he had cursed them when they left, they won it the year after. They wouldn't have won
Yeah.
if that.
And then why does he still constantly stay on their bandwagon? He's still
didn't
a
say he
Cowboys.
cursed.
Because he loves the. They
Yeah,
say-
but wait. What's the
owner-
point? If you cursed him and didn't want to make him back there, then well, you were a sick motherfucker to fuck with yourself, because he still praises them.
bandwagon. Mhm.
Yeah, he's still on their bandwagon. He's a
Bro,
Let
that's-
me let me
that's-
explain what Chris is saying. Okay.
I know what you're saying, but I'm saying that's a classic crook move. I'm going to shoot you and try to put the damn murder on Lonzo.
No.
You can't hold
I hear what you're saying. But listen, it's like me. It's like me with Kawhi Leonard. I can't stand Kawhi Leonard. So I put a curse on Kawhi Leonard, let's say, where I don't want him to ever win a championship. Well, obviously the curse didn't work because he won with Toronto. You know what I mean?
take him back if he came back.
Would I
Yes.
take him back? Absolutely.
Okay, so it's the same thing.
But
What we're saying is,
just-
if he left and cursed them, that he can't still love the players that he coached, love the team. He loved the team. He hates the fucking administration that fired him. So you're supposed to turn on the whole team for that? No, you just hate who you hate. It's like one person
But
does
you
the
don't-
crime,
okay.
everybody's guilty.
So you're gonna love a team and love players on that team and love the coaches on the team, and yet you don't want to see them succeed, then you are a sick person because you want to see people.
Okay, y'all not.
Well, I'm just saying.
Okay, this
I
is
don't.
like
I don't
somebody
believe
committed a
it.
crime. Say the crime is the curse. I ain't gonna say, God, I hate fucking Dallas, because I'm gonna be the first one that they suspect in the damn murder. So I'm gonna say I love Dallas, but I'm trying to implicate that Alonzo was the one that did the curse, not me.
But you're talking about like murdering and crime to football team.
No,
Totally different. Like for me,
no.
If Kawhi never comes back to if Kawhi never comes back to the Spurs, I will never have any love for Kawhi, and I will never say, "Oh yeah, well I like Kawhi, but deep down in my side I'm cursing him." I won't do that. It's like fuck Kawhi.
Okay, it's kind of like Sidious. Sidious act like he loved the Jedi, but secretly he did. It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
No,
not.
because at some point Sidious
for
came
that.
out. No, because at some point Sidious came out and said, "Fuck the Jedi."
Like there's
Okay,
no.
so 25 years later, he gonna say "fuck the Jedi." If
Well,
it's
it's
a
been past.
curse.
It's been past 25 years.
This is ridiculous. Listen,
Okay,
if
that's what
anything,
Curses aren't real.
the Cowboys are a product of ownership and their coaches not being on the same page for years. That's what I'm going to say. I don't think this is.
Talking about the Cowgirls, they're just dysfunctional, man. They're dysfunctional, riding high
Exactly.
on air.
There you go.
Listen,
I agree.
regardless, and to be honest with you, regardless, I mean, he won 2 Super Bowls with the Cowboys, right? He won 2. So that's a connection to the Cowboys right then and there, no matter what. He has to team.
Imagine, I hire you as an employee to come and sell by me.
Mhm.
You come by me. Not only do you sell and bring us record highs.
Mhm.
And then the second year you do it, I tell you, Anzo, you're fired. Why?
Right, and I get that.
I'm not getting recognition for it. Everyone's talking about you, Anzo, not me. I'm the owner of the company.
Right.
They're talking about you. Get out of here.
And I get
you
that. So my point
paid
is,
all your money?
no, if that happens to me, I'm gonna be like, fuck that team.
100%.
So
100%.
then I'm not
Still have
considered.
love for those guys.
But then I'm not. I may have a love for some of the players that were on the team at the time, but those players are no longer on that team. None of those players that Jimmy Johnson had coached are on that team right now.
Oh, curse
So
it.
now it's fuck the team, fuck
Yes.
them, fuck the
100%.
company. But I would not be on TV praising them.
I think
I
he
would.
does that only for the money.
That's right.
I just want to say something.
You gotta pay them bills, man.
Yes, he can. They do
I
it
gotta
all
pay
the time.
them
Shannon Sharp and them, they disrespect all the time. He doesn't have to go on there and be nice to the Cowboys.
But Shannon Sharp was scarred for a long time. Now he's back on because of back roads of doing podcasts and all that. But back in the day, they shunned Shannon Sharp because he was too vocal.
And Shannon Sharp will still be vocal today.
Yeah,
He
that's
still
right. But
says about certain players and certain teams. So this is what I'm saying. Like Jimmy Johnson doesn't have to pretend to like the Cowboys. There's no reason for him to do it.
spending so much time on the Cowboys, guys.
And Josh said it.
Next question.
Hexes, curses don't exist. Oh boy.
Hey man, you tell some Haitian people that they'll tell you it does exist, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Question
Oh, I
number
know.
8.
I know.
Will Dak be back, and should he get his money?
Yes,
I don't
not yet.
understand that. He must be back because I see him on a bunch of damn commercials now. He's sure walking around looking spry as a damn spring chicken. So
Well, I think those are all.
Question is, will he get his money?
I don't. You're gonna. I don't know.
No.
I mean,
They didn't
okay.
want
I
to
hate.
give him his
I hate
money when
to.
he was healthy, though. So
Yeah, that's the
he
thing.
won't get his money because Zeke Elliott fucked him because Zeke did all of them antics he did, got his money, and now I can run better than Zeke Elliott.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get his money. I think Dallas
Jerry
will.
Jones.
No, if because I don't know what his contract is like, so I'm pretty sure he's under contract for next year as well. So Jimmy Johnson,
franchise tag him.
if he's not under contract, they'll franchise tag him. You're right, and that'll give him that year to prove that he's the Dak that he was.
No, he's franchise tag now.
He's franchise tag now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, but they can
They'll
franchise.
franchise it again.
They
They'll
can be
franchise it.
funny.
I think they do it up to 3 times, and then after that,
Right,
he can go.
right.
And
So
this will be third.
they'll franchise him again to see if he's going to be the Dak he was before the injury, and if they're smart and he is, then they need to give that man his money because look at what's going on. A lot of teams right now. What is their biggest weakness? They need quarterbacks.
Yeah, see, this is where I will agree partially, and I know Mads not on today, but I'll agree partially with Mads. I don't think he'll get his money this year, but I don't agree with Mads because this is listen. What Anza just said, the NFL is in need of quarterbacks in certain places. Dallas has a team that isn't far off if everybody's healthy and stuff. They need a few other people. I think they'll wait this season. If he comes back and looks like he did and plays a full season like he started this last season, I think they do need to give him his money. If he is progressing back to that form, I think they franchise tag him the third time. And if he continues to move forward, then I think the year after they have to. I think this next year is, I think they have a little more leeway to say to him, listen, or how about this? Franchise tag him if he doesn't like the first offer you give him an offer that says, listen, with what happened last season and you're not quite up to there this season, here's what we're willing to offer you. Make it a decent amount. But if he wants to play that game, franchise tag him and says, okay, fine, go out there. This season's your season. Prove us wrong. And
Or
if they do,
or if they want to like save face, give him a 1-year deal.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Give him a 1-year deal, pay him a good amount of money. Say this is for what happened last year because we're sorry we didn't pay you when we should have. Give him a 1-year deal and see how it works with that 1-year deal. And if he does what he's supposed to do, then you sign him on the contract. That's what.
I go with that.
I want to talk about the other half of the question because you guys are talking about one half. The other half is will he be back after that injury?
I said
That
yes.
was that's an anomaly. I
He'll
know
be
that
back.
they did what they. Yeah, it might take some time.
If Alex Smith made it back at his age from that injury and looked as decent as he did, I
Dak's
cannot
injury
see
is
Dak.
really
I
bad.
know, but I can't see Dak not making it.
No,
At
he'll
least
be
not.
back.
Yeah, he'll be back. I don't know how he'll look, but he'll be back. He'll be back.
That's the biggest issue that the Cowboys will have is how is he gonna look when he comes back? Because he's gonna come back. Even if he doesn't feel like he's 100%, I can guarantee you he's gonna give it a shot. He's a football player. It's in their blood, man. You know what I mean? So he's gonna want to come back. He's gonna want to prove that he still can do it. So he'll come back. It's just how will he look when he comes back? That's the issue.
And if he's not 100%, then that will totally be the indicator of his money and his
Absolutely.
his check.
Absolutely. Roberto's like, can we get off with these fucking Cowboys, please?
Listen,
Yeah.
Dak.
Man,
Dak's
Roberto,
a
I'm sorry,
topic.
man, but I did 3 in a row, so here come the third.
Oh, wow.
Well, kind of, sort of, it's kind of, sort of. It's involving a former Dallas Cowboy. That's a question.
Well, as long as Chris is as long as Matt is not here to rebound them.
Right. It's nice. We're having a nice discussion. It's nice.
It was one of the hottest questions this week on TV. So here it is. Romo says Patrick must beat Tom in order to become the GOAT. Shannon Sharp went off on, and also Stephen A. So Tony Romo said Patrick must beat Tom in order to become the GOAT.
I disagree.
I totally disagree.
Well, I don't like Tony Romo, but he made my point for me. He helped me out.
Okay. I will say this.
Yeah, he's on my side, man. I agree with him 100%.
Okay.
I will say this. We were talking about it a little bit beforehand. It will always be something people will bring up if he doesn't do it. It will always be, because people automatically consider Tom Brady the GOAT. And how can you be the GOAT if you couldn't beat the GOAT? And while he's beaten him a few times during the regular season, he lost the championship game 2 years ago to him. This is his redemption chance. Now, again, I don't think that affects Patrick Mahomes. I don't think he'll overthink it. But the notch on his belt, and this is where I go, and I was going to say this, Roberto was kind of talking about it's kind of funny the way these things work out. This is almost like the NFL wanted it to get to this because either this is a passing of the torch or cementing somebody's legacy. This is exactly what the NFL wanted, and somehow it happened, even though it was very improbable to happen. Now, I'm not going to get into the conspiracy theories and say I believe that, but it certainly plays into those things. And if that's the case, then whoever wins this game, you know what the NFL wants. And if that's the case, I think we win. If it's not the case, I don't disagree with Romo. I don't, because there is something to be said. It will all, I mean, let's go 10 years down the line. He's won 6 Super Bowls himself, or 7 if Brady wins this year. Let's say Mahomes pulls off 7 himself, and he's got numbers that exceed or are as great as Brady's by the time he retires. The one question will always go back to, well, yeah, you got those numbers that are like Brady, but listen, you didn't win that championship game against him, and you didn't win the Super Bowl against him. Who's the GOAT now? Who's the GOAT? Brady's the GOAT in that case. If you gave him everything exactly the same, if he doesn't beat Brady, and this is the last time he can beat Brady in a game like this, then yeah, it does kind of say he would have to beat Brady. Now the question is this the last time he'll get a chance? Maybe, maybe not.
I have kind of an interesting analogy. I don't know if you guys would agree with me. I believe that Kobe Bryant, before Michael Jordan had left, was really trying to go after Jordan, really trying to, surpass him and beat him. And I remember seeing videos of them being very competitive in the locker room, talking shit to each other. You better do this, you better do that. I believe that was one of Kobe's main goals. Talking about him now, rest in peace, Kobe. But yeah, I think he really wanted to prove, to pass the baton, have Jordan pass the baton to Kobe, and beat him. I know he wasn't at his best. I know he wasn't at his prime, but he was good enough still when Jordan was in the league. And that's this very similar situation to how Brady's in the league. He's at the peak. He's in the championship. They're both in the championship game. And I think Mahomes wants it more than you guys think. I think he wants to do the same.
You can't compare the Kobe and Jordan thing because Kobe hasn't even come close to Jordan's records or anything like that, right? So we're saying what you guys are basically saying is that if Mahomes beats Tom Brady's records, beats his Super Bowls, that he's not going to be considered the GOAT because he didn't beat Tom Brady in one Super Bowl. I totally disagree with that.
It's not just one Super Bowl. It was the 2 chances in big games.
Big.
Championship game.
Hold on. So you made a very valid point there. I'm glad that Josh brought up Michael Jordan. If you want to say that LeBron is the greatest now, does Michael have to come out of retirement and play LeBron, and LeBron has to beat him in order to be the GOAT?
The difference.
Well, no, that's not the
difference.
That's stupid shit. Because listen, if Brady doesn't win now, does that mean he's not the GOAT? Because he wasn't the first to win at home?
No.
He wasn't the first to win in both divisions? It's getting so microscopic, it's ridiculous.
Yes.
If Mahomes wins more Super Bowls than Brady, then he's the GOAT. I don't care if he has less touchdowns, less passing yards, less If he wins 7 Super Bowls, Mahomes is the GOAT. Whether he beat Brady or not, he has 7 Super Bowls. That's what it comes down to.
The difference here is that people still put Brady on a caliber able to do this. It's not like Jordan, who was still a good player, just wasn't Jordan. He's still considered on a caliber level of a champion. Therefore, being in the league at the same time, playing in the same game, people are going and listen, you guys are always about Tom Brady's GOAT, Tom Brady's GOAT. If it were an exact mirror image of the exact same amount of Super Bowls he won, and let's say the exact amount of Super Bowls he lost, if everything is down to that last bit, people are going to use, hey, he had a chance to beat Brady, but he didn't. So that means Brady is still the GOAT.
There's not enough people to support that, Chris. I'm sorry.
Well, okay, I don't think so either. I don't think so.
Jordan.
Listen,
I don't think a lot of people hate Gretzky. I'm talking about the greats, right? I don't think a lot of people hate them. But what I see, if Tom Brady is the GOAT of football, there is a big argument that say otherwise, and I don't see that with really other GOATs.
No,
maybe basketball, but football, there's just too many, like you mentioned, too many coincidences that he got those Super Bowls. There's too many things. Does he have all the number one stats in passing, receiving, QBR, all of that? Does he have number one in all of those?
He is very close to most of them. And he's
very close is not number one. I'm sorry. There's a lot of
overall.
Well,
he doesn't have it.
But
I think
Brady has a lot of number one records. Like most,
but he doesn't have all of them on.
He doesn't need to have all of them.
Neither does Jordan, right? Neither does Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan doesn't have all.
That's what I'm trying to say. What makes Brady the GOAT other than his Super Bowls? What makes him the GOAT? I say he is, but what makes him the GOAT?
Because he has all of them. Because he has all of them and the Super Bowls. It's not just the Super Bowls.
All of what?
He has all the records and the Super Bowls. Yes, hold on. Because so then with your theory, then Robert Horry should be better than Michael Jordan because he has more championships in it.
But I don't agree with it. I'm saying how it is. So if Mahomes wins more Super Bowls than Brady, it doesn't matter if he beat him or not. He is the GOAT.
That I agree with.
You're making the same. I'm doing this on purpose.
No.
You're contradicting. No, Chris is contradicting himself because I just did the comparison, and now you guys are arguing it when it's the same thing for Mahomes. Why does he have to be Brady? So if he beats Brady now and doesn't win any more Super Bowls, is he the GOAT? I don't understand this.
No, but what I'm saying is, if he matches Super Bowls with Brady, but Brady beats him in passing yards, beats him in career touchdowns, beats him in careers less interceptions, then Brady will still be considered the GOAT in my eyes. But now, if you add the same amount of Super Bowls and you say that Mahomes beat him in passing yards, Mahomes beat him in touchdown yards, beat him in every other category, and has the Super Bowls to match it, then I say yes, he is the GOAT. Now, on Chris's point, let's say, and it will never happen because it's almost impossible, but let's say they have the same amount of Super Bowls and they have the same amount of yards, touchdowns,
or similar,
whatever, right? Or similar, way close. Then yes, you go to the fact that Brady beat him. But that's only one.
Only way. What is that? That's like winning 649 back.
All right, wait.
It's not going to happen.
Let me rephrase this. Let me rephrase.
I know. That's what I said.
Let me rephrase how I would put this question. He doesn't have to beat Tom Brady to be the GOAT, but it's certainly going to be a step in the right direction.
Right.
Okay.
And that's more what I am saying, is that it will certainly make it something that will start getting people to look at it and go like, okay, he just beat Brady in the Super Bowl. That's step one. Step two is at least 3 more Super Bowls after this because you'll have 2 in a row. That makes it 5. Then you're close in Super Bowls. There's certain things. It's like the achievements in a video game. This is an achievement in the NFL for him. If he beats Brady in the Super Bowl, it is a step in the right direction to the GOAT.
Yeah. How many years did Brady won his first Super Bowl? Wasn't he on the bench for like 3 years?
Yeah, he was on the bench. And
Mahomes won a Super Bowl in his 3rd year. That's just a stat. That's just a stat to throw out there. If you look at that momentum, I think this kid's going to do a hell of a lot more because he has a great coach as well.
Yeah.
I think now it's too early in Mahomes' career for this to matter. When it gets down to comparing apples to apples, oranges to oranges, could look under a microscope, then that's when these things we're talking about now is going to come into play.
You are
Right
Can I
now,
ask you this?
absolutely right.
Let me look at it from. Man, I don't even want to say I want to look at it from Mahomes' perspective because I don't think Mahomes thinks of it like that. I don't think Mahomes is like that. I don't think Brady's like that either. I don't think Brady thinks all I need is 6 Super Bowls. I think he's a competitor. So is Mahomes. They both don't think of it as I am the GOAT. They think of it as I am a player. I want to win. That's all they think about. They're not thinking about all the stats, all this, all that. So here's the thing.
You're right.
Yes, it's too early to say that, but it is that step that for the people out there like us that talk about who's the GOAT, who's this. I don't think Tom Brady's the GOAT. You guys do. Why? Because we have differing opinions of what the GOAT is. So when we get down to that line, if Mahomes ever makes it, trust me, there's going to be plenty of people who use that as a reference. They will go back to it. All the people that think Brady is the GOAT, if it's still then, they're going to say it. Well, he never beat Brady. It's absolutely a true statement that in order for those people to convert their belief that Tom Brady is the GOAT, that Mahomes has to win against him in the Super Bowl.
And you are absolutely right, 100%. There will be people like that. This is why, for him to become the GOAT, he has to dominantly beat Brady's records.
Yes.
He cannot tie Brady and tie it because that will be a strike on him.
Exactly. But this is step one.
But
he won't think of it like that.
No, I know. But I'm saying is, even if he doesn't beat Brady now, but still has all those accolades to where we can say, listen, then that's just one strike against him. That's all.
Can I say one more thing that I got to go soon? Actually, after this, head over. I just have one more thing to say, and then I'm going to go. And it's been a great show, also, by the way. Here's the deal: very simple numbers. It will be either 6 Super Bowls versus 2, or it will be 7 Super Bowls versus 1 when this is all said and done. That's it. That's all I have to say.
All I'm going to say is that I'll disagree with one thing that Chris said. These players are keeping count. They're keeping track. They want to be the best because whenever
this is the last one that this. I'm asking a question right there to this point. Tom Brady gets one more. He's like, okay, that's enough. No, it's another Super Bowl. All he's thinking about is, I want that win.
Okay, I will agree with Danny. They do. But I think it comes to like Brady maybe like through maybe first couple years of his career or maybe the first, I don't know, 5-6 years of his career wasn't thinking about the GOAT. But when that argument comes up and you have the chance to be the GOAT, you better believe he's out there trying to be the GOAT. He's out there right now trying to be the best player of all time.
That's why he threw 3 interceptions in the last game.
I won without Belichick. That's what he's trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying that also. If you ask those players later, Josh, appreciate it.
Later, Josh.
When they come on those shows, they be like, "You remember the game in 19 such and such?" Shannon Sharp can be like, "Yeah, I scored 10 catches. I did 202, whatever."
If it's the big games, yeah.
No, all them games. I watch Skip and Shannon every day. When them Shannon come on there and he hates that damn, you know you won't. I don't care. When they go to other people. When they go there with them other people that they think are their equals, because he got this big, what's the Hispanic guy, wide receiver that was so good? Can't think his name. Played for the Chiefs.
Tony Gonzalez.
They got a big rivalry. Whenever they come on there, man, you can see who got the bigger balls. When they talk about, I do this. Well, I was first round, I'm second round. Brady,
but not all players are like that. Not all of them are like that.
I think they are. That's a very competitive game. There's 2 majors in my department, me and another guy. And I always tell the sheriff, I ain't trying to come out here and cut nobody's throat, but when you go to a conference, anybody else, and your client report say, hey, who's your go-to man in the sheriff's office? I done told him, and I said that in front of my other coworkers. I want the first thing to come out of his mouth is Danny Graham. I ain't trying to cut nobody's throat, but if I'm there, I want to be the damn best. So I try to be the best major, the best officer in that department, and that's.
But I I don't think just because you want to be the best that you're worried about the numbers. You just know that if you consistently go out there and win every day, that's going to come. Those numbers. I mean, I just.
Bro, they're gonna keep up.
It's
with
either
the
they know how to. Okay, listen. I see Shannon Sharp, and what I see is I'm cocky because I know I'm good. Blah 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 blah. I don't think Tom Brady's cocky because he knows he's good. He's good because he knows he's good. He doesn't need to be cocky to prove it. And so I think that's where I'm talking about the difference. And those, well, okay, fine, but he's humbly cocky. Maybe that's a word I'd use. I just think that.
Did you see that TikTok video I sent of him and Gronk to you earlier this week?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Does that look like humbleness to me?
No, but then again, I don't.
Pretty braggadocious.
I just think that.
But hold on, Danny. To that point, they do that a lot because that's not the first time.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to say something to. He said that Tom is kind of humble. No. He didn't. Okay, let me tell you. A true story is personal. Me and my wife, we first got married. She came out of the mountain. She said that black guys are bigger dogs than white guys. I almost lost my shit. I said, you must be out your goddamn mind. That's the only difference between me and a white man as far as being a dog is that I'm more open with it. Mm-hmm. Most of the times, the white guys are a little bit more slicker than we are, but we still a dog. So that's what I'm saying about these other guys. Shannon Sharp is braggadocious, big and bold. Tom Brady, big and bold, but they're still football players. They still want to win. Still want the best. Maybe at home, he tells Giselle, "God damn it, I'm the fucking GOAT," but he won't say it on TV. But Shannon Sharp will say, "God damn it, I'm the GOAT on TV."
But I will say to Chris's point that not all of them are like that because there's some guys out there that'll just want to do what they can do for the team and win. They don't care about their numbers. They just want to win.
Maybe my point is that
hold on, Chris. One more thing. But usually that's when they're a lot older.
And that's what I'm going to go with. Right now, I don't see that out of Mahomes, but I can see it the longer it goes. If he continues this, how could you not be like, yeah, come and get me, man. Look at what I've done. And okay, I could see that. So, but I still think that at the base of this question, the notch on his belt and the step is very much in people's minds that has to happen. 10, 12 years down the line, maybe not so much. But right now, in order for it to begin becoming a question of does Mahomes have the ability or is he possibly the next GOAT, this has to happen.
I will say this, partner. I believe that what you said earlier, if he beats Tom Brady head to head, it is definitely a step in the right direction. But I do not think that is necessary.
I agree.
I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying it's not absolute that it has to happen.
If Andy Reid and Mahomes go on this tear after Brady retire, and so they go 7 or 8 Super Bowls, and they win 6 out of those 7, that's going to be hard pressed. Now and then, like you said, we're going to have to go back to these moments. Well, remember 8 years ago, he had such and such. That's when you're going to have to start going with a fine-tooth comb and trying to find this and that. But until that happens, right now, in my mind, I know not yours, Brady is the GOAT.
Yeah.
I think he's going to lose Sunday, but I don't know.
Well, you see, and again, no, you're right. I don't think that he's the GOAT, but because a majority of people do think he's the GOAT, this is something he needs to do because it will it'll challenge the belief that somebody else could be, without a doubt. Because it's very difficult when you talk about Michael Jordan or and LeBron James because they never played against each other. When you have a chance to see players play against each other, it gives you measurable.
I agree.
It makes it measurable then. If he wins next Sunday, it's either going to propel a legend or it's going to cement a legend.
Sometimes winning more don't even matter because Floyd Mayweather is undefeated. Muhammad Ali lost several times, but I think Muhammad Ali is the greatest.
I do too, and I think there's a lot of factors. At the surface of things, it's not always about the numbers. That's why I always say I don't go by the numbers with Tom Brady, because at the surface of things, if you look at the two numbers for those two you just mentioned, yeah, you know,
See, that's why when I
one's
say GOAT,
undefeated, one isn't. But one, go ahead. Oh,
no, you first. You first.
I was going to say, but Muhammad Ali, how many years did he not fight? All those years that would have been the best years of his life, he didn't fight.
I think what made him go that he won more quality matches than Floyd Mayweather did.
True, but it's also because he left, and then when he was allowed back in, he was able to go back and do it again, but later in his life.
Then his
When he-
career's on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of factors, but that's the thing. That's why Tom Brady's not my GOAT, because there's a lot of things in there that I factor in that most people don't. But that's my decision. We all know where I stand. I'm sorry, Anzo. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, but that's why when we have the GOAT discussion, I don't just say it's just stats. I don't say it's just Super Bowls or this or that. I put everything into consideration. You know what I mean? Because you have Wilt Chamberlain has 10. If we're gonna go on championships, then he should be the GOAT. Not Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell.
Yeah, Bill Russell.
11.
Shit. Phil Jackson got 11.
Yeah.
Right.
13.
Right. And
Is he the GOAT of coaches?
No,
I
a lot
think-
of people. A lot. No, I think
Well,
Popovich is.
Well, you got a point there. Yeah, no.
Popovich is the GOAT of coaches.
Where's my Where's it at?
He's
Well,
the
let's-
most wanted.
what, was that the last question? Is this the last question?
No.
I'm gonna have a
Let's-
serious cramp in my neck after this show, boy.
I'm sorry.
Why?
Next question.
This is all I'm doing. I'm just sitting here. I can't even get a word. I'm just shaking my head.
Whoa!
You want to worry about this?
No, I could pass.
Okay.
I'm all heated up. So we can come out good.
All right.
Ooh.
This question came up on Skipper Shannon. Who was more clutch? I can tell you that Shannon Sharp said Jordan. Skip Bayless said
Tom Brady. I seen it. Yeah, I watched.
he said if it was for a game, he would say Brady. Or and a season. He said if it was for a shot, he would say Jordan. So we'll let you go first, Roberto. Who was more clutch?
Jordan.
Okay.
You want more? I say Jordan more so than Brady because I don't know. The quarterback is always the key element on the field. He more or less is the deciding person on the field. He gives it to the running back if he wants to. He throws it if he wants to. Jordan has to incorporate all of his players. He can't necessarily be the one who decides all the time because other guys bring up the ball and make the first pass and whatnot. So I think it's a little harder.
I agree with you. I'm going to say Jordan. The reason why is because, and this is a little thing, but Jordan never lost in the finals, man. You know what I mean? He's never lost in the finals. When the big game came, Jordan took over. I mean, Brady won 6. 6 he has? Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
But he lost those ones. You know, he lost 3.
No? Or
Yeah.
3?
3 so far.
3.
2 to the Giants.
Yeah. I will concur with Roberto and Anzo. It's Jordan 1 because of what Anzo just said, 6 for 6. 2, I always will pick a player from another sport that requires more than just one game to win it all. Because if you go by, and I know it's way too grueling of a game to play 7 games for a championship in the NFL, but still, 7 games in 10 days, isn't it? Normally,
It's really 2 games.
okay, championship game and then the Super Bowl, but still, but here's the thing: against the same team to win 6 championships in 6 tries against a team you're playing 7, and not all of them were 7 games, I know, but
None of them
you
were
play,
5.
huh?
None of them were 7.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, but
7 games.
when you face a team over and over again, that gives that team more chance to try to fix what they're not doing to win. I think it's a much tougher thing to win championships in other games and other sports than it is in the NFL when it comes down to it. Because when you get to the championship game, all I have to do is win this one.
Mm-hmm.
You get to a championship game, every other sport that's worth watching. Listen, just because you win that first one doesn't mean you're going to win the other three. And we've seen it time and time again.
And that is correct, because when you go on a 7-game series, I would say 100 times out of 10, the better team wins. Even though you may think that team is not better, if they beat you in a 7-game series or a 6-game series or a 3-game series, whatever, they were the better team. In football, the better team doesn't always
necessarily,
because they could come out in a dud game, and that team that is crap is on fire. That doesn't make them.
Case in point, I hate saying, well, yeah, but that's fine. But injury is more likely to happen in a 7-game series than it is,
Oh, that's what I'm saying. The last game. Go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to say that I think a great point to Anza's, or a great example of Anza's point is listen, I hate New England, but they did go undefeated that one year, and they lost to the Giants by not even a full touchdown. I think was it 3 points?
3 points.
And it was like, I mean, the better team probably did not win that game.
I agree.
So that's my point right there.
If they had a 3-game series or a 7-game series, that New England team would have probably beat them 3 out of the 2 times.
2 out of the 3 times. Yeah. I think that I don't think you can compare it because Jordan just, the 6 for 6, the amount of games you have to play to get that 4 games, you have to win 4 games, and it's not like you can win 1 game and say, "Oh, we did it! Yes!" There's no other sport that's on the competitive level of football. Not even. I mean,
football is king too. We get the highest rating on everybody
right now.
else.
Yeah, but that doesn't. Listen, there's so many. There's so many luck of the draw factors to football that are not in basketball. You can get lucky on 1 or 2 games, but when you are the best team, you are going to win that game 9 times. You're going to win those championships 9 times out of 10, and he won them 6 times out of 6. So Jordan, to me, is more clutch.
All right. Question number 11. Should first-round NBA, NFL players be taken by way of lottery?
Be right back.
All right. Question number 11. Should first-round NBA, NFL players be taken by way of lottery?
I think to make it more, more parity, yes, they should be. I don't think it should just be based off of your lowest winner or the person that won the least games. I think a lottery straight across the board. And I mean, the NBA does a lottery, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think every pick position should be a lottery.
Let's just say, for instance, that you're Tampa Bay or you're Kansas City, and if you have less amount of balls, so to speak, if you're a loser like the Jets and who else was Jacksonville, you would get more balls in the, let's say, lottery because you have a lesser team. And anyway, if you don't do that, then how is the teams ever going to be somewhat competitive, equal footing? Because the teams
I'm okay with something like that.
The teams are winning, gets the ball and wins it. It's not going to be fair because they're going to always have, case in point, how the Celtics dominated during the 80s. I don't know how the Lakers got Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy, Jamal Wilkins. I don't know how the hell they did that. But you see how that made them a dynasty and how the Celtics got Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge. These are all Hall of Famers. So I don't know. They're going to break that up. I don't know how they can do it.
I would say that, like in the NFL, case of the NFL, you put it in a computer. Jets, in this case, or whoever it was that had the least game, or that is number one this next season, gets 32 because there's 32 teams. They get 32 picks in there. then 31, 30, so on and so forth, until the last team gets one.
Yep.
And what you do is you have a computer pick it. You don't keep hand picking it, because when a computer picks that team's all their tallies get taken out. But I think that it would give a chance for better parity. Yeah, it would suck, and whoever ends up being screwed out of that first round pick that first year is not going to be happy. But then it also makes it so, and I know everybody hates when I say this, I think that a team who is the lowest of the low, it makes them kind of maybe want to play a little harder, try a little harder. Now, I know Anzo's right. No team goes out to lose.
Yeah, some do.
Well,
When
maybe
they
near
know
the end
that
maybe near the end of the year. But when everybody starts at the beginning of the year, I don't think they go out to lose.
No, they don't start it. They don't start to got to lose. But let's say, for instance, you lose 2 or 3 of your big time players. You lose a record. You done lost 8 or 9 in a row. Team motivation ain't there. Shit. The owners might say, "Well, look, I ain't saying don't go out there and play 100%, but let's play at like 95%, 80%, because it might improve our lottery picks."
Maybe when you know you're not going to get the first round. Maybe if you know you're not going to get the first round, maybe that makes them stop being like that. Where a coach is going to like, well, guys, this team's never going to improve if we don't play our hearts out.
Hard those last few games. I know.
Well, when they win their games, they won their games near the end of the season. So maybe they did. Maybe they're like, well, shit.
Because end of the season, that's when most people play their second, third string to preserve their first.
Yeah, but they won a game that all the starters were on there.
I'm just saying, like you said earlier, any given Sunday.
Yeah, I know.
And the other thing that influences that most teams, when they know they go into the playoffs, will sit their players. That's why I think hurt Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh should have played their first round players, in my opinion, and knocked Brown's ass up out of there, and they might have won.
I agree. They shouldn't have took that break. Ben is a little bit too old for him to take a break and then come back and go and play the next week. I agree with that. But I will say this, though, with the Jets tried to blow a game against the Raiders, right?
Yep.
They tried to blow that game, but then they won the next week. So that's maybe they were trying to save face and didn't want to look like they were throwing games. Yeah. But I think at one point, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, bro, are we really gonna go to zero?
It's a legitimate strategy when you know you get an opportunity to get one of the hottest players, quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, whatever position that's coming out in the next year's draft. You get a chance to get that person. That is a legitimate strategy. To tell your team to throw the game.
It is,
now,
but
is it the nature and is the spirit of football? No, it sucks. But at the end of the day, football is a business.
Yeah, but throwing games.
Basketball is a business. Baseball is a business, and sometimes strategies that you can use you don't necessarily like, but it's a tool in your toolbox.
Yeah, but it's frowned upon. Like if you get caught throwing games, you get fined.
I know.
How does the
Jets fans were pissed off that they won that game and gave first Jacksonville?
I know.
Now I know that the NBA does a lottery for the first round pick, right? Or the first round, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How is that determined? Is it everybody just is in there and whoever it is gets picked?
Oh, they get the top 10, the top 3 teams get more chances of getting pulling the ball out or whatever the thing is.
The ones that won the least.
Yeah,
get more picks. Okay.
So it's the top 10. Well, the least 10 teams, I guess.
Yeah.
By whichever one has the least.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. See, I'm okay with that, but I would love to see purely random because one, I get tired of 3, 4, 5 months in advance. These people start doing these mock draft boards. I think it'd be hilarious for those people to have to figure out, okay, well, wow, now what happens? Because if the Jets get put in, at first, we're pretty sure most of the time that it's going to be a quarterback or running back, something like that. But let's say you get the Chiefs. This year they just somehow miraculously get the first round draft pick. But besides pissing everybody off, they're not going to go for a quarterback. Chances are they're fairly happy with their running backs as long as they're healthy. They're probably not going to go for a wide receiver. What are they going to go for? I think it'd be interesting then to see how the dynamic of each different team coming in would do things. And I just think it would add a bit of parody, a bit of intrigue to it.
Actually, it would cause intrigue, but not parody, right? Because you're trying to get these crappy teams better. That's why you're giving them the best chance to get one of the top 5 players. So
How
now,
many years? No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no,
I'll ask afterwards.
So let's say you have 5 teams that are trying to get a running back, quarterback, wide receiver, whatever. But then you have a team like Kansas City that sneaks in there and takes one of these top players from one of those teams.
Yeah. But I mean, how many years did the Cleveland Browns get the number 1 pick? And it took them forever. I don't think just because you get the number 1 pick, you're going to be a better team.
Picks, I think they got like they
had high draft picks, but that's what I'm trying to say is I don't necessarily think just because you are the worst team that. Because again,
scouting team,
a lot of buzz, especially in the NBA. Look at Alonzo Ball; he was number 2. Bust.
Busts happen. So I think I don't know the factors involved. I would personally like to see a lottery straight down the board for the first round. After the first round, no, just go by. The second round would be the lowest team then picks first, guaranteed.
And in my opinion, the Browns quarterback, he just now showing his stuff, but he was a draft, a bust
For the past
couple years.
Anyway, but I won't say a bust. Maybe he just needed more time to mature and get better.
Oh, he was a bust. He got the right coach, like you said. Sometimes the right coach, the right team. The right coach came along, gave him different playbooks to look at, and all of a sudden now, with his running backs that he developed, he has a stronger system. Now
also, the Cleveland Browns are recipient of what's the word I want to use? Karma luck. And what I mean by karma luck, Kansas City got rid of the running back. What's his name?
Chubb. Chantar Hub, 1 or 2.
No, it wasn't Chubbs. It was the other guy.
Hunt.
They got rid of Hunt. It wasn't DV. It was an assault, not domestic violence. Domestic violence and assault are 2 different things.
Yeah.
If it was in a DV, I would say okay. But they got rid of man for an assault, something that he could get an expungement for, PTI.
It wasn't just that. They brought him in. Well, no, the GM, the head coach, and Clark Hunt brought him in when there was talk about something happening in Cleveland. And they sat him down and says, tell us what happened. And he, point blank, said nothing happened. And then the video hit. And while I don't think it was much more than him being baited into that situation, because if you watch that whole video, I do believe he was more baited than anything. I don't think he should have done what he did, but I think he was baited into that. When they saw that was a lot more than nothing, which he claimed it was nothing, and I think he said that nothing was going to come of any investigation. When it happened, they're like, well, you had your chance to tell us, and you didn't. And he even admitted after the fact, he said, I should have just been up front with him, because I think they would have kept him if he had just said, hey, yeah, I probably didn't do the right thing, but they were doing this and this. And then I don't agree with it. I still wish we had Hunt.
I ain't going to say what I want to say because that would make me seem like a racist. So I'm
okay. No, no. You go ahead and say it, because I still think that there was not I don't know if it was handled correctly, but
let me ask this question then, because Roberto said with Baker Mayfield and Donnie, you said he was a bust, right? But do you think it was a bust, or just the fact that he didn't have the right coach and everything about him?
I didn't finish that answer, but I want to answer that.
Okay.
When I said the karma luck, they were a recipient of getting Kareem Hunt, who to me is a top 5 running back in the NFL. Also, I think that part of his problem was Odell Beckham, because Odell Beckham is so much of a prima donna, and Baker Mayfield wanted to try to pacify him and satisfy him and give him more targets. that he really deserved. Once that distraction was out of the way, you see Baker Mayfield flourish. He got a better chemistry with his receivers, and they had a better record. So I think between Hunt and Chubbs, but especially Hunt, he was a gift. And the fact that Odell Beckham got hurt and was no longer a distraction, I think
And
those two
Landry is a 1A as well.
Boy, you really hate Del Beckham, boy.
I don't hate him. I don't hate him. I don't hate him. I think he's a good quarterback. I mean, receiver. I think that he's built his reputation on that one spectacular catch. He hasn't done anything that I've seen spectacular or top 10 receiver noteworthy after that, in my opinion. If I'm wrong, show me the numbers and I'll say it. I don't
Yeah.
think he's a top 10
He
receiver.
hasn't dominated a game in maybe 2 years.
Because he hasn't had a quarterback. But when he had a quarterback, even after that catch, he was still
Eli?
No, yeah. Because Eli was going down. Eli was going down, man. Eli was flopping. But
I
if
agree. I agree. Eli was at the end of his season, he was crap. I will agree.
And if you go look at the numbers, Odell Beckham still had 1,000 yards until a season until that drop with Eli started happening. So
Well,
I'm not
last
saying
seasons he hasn't done anything really to get recognition.
I agree.
Right,
But this is why I'm saying I understand what Danny's saying, because when he was gone, they picked up. But maybe they would have been a little bit better with him because he still demands a lot of attention on the field. So
you know why I would kind of disagree with that is because, like Danny said, he had to cater to Beckham's demands. So all this time he's waiting for a guy who doesn't really run good routes to get open. He was getting sacked like a motherfucker. He was getting sacked so much they were worried about his longevity. They had to get an O-line. They were starting to say all this stuff. And as soon as Beckham got hurt, it's like he wasn't getting sacked as much anymore. So now he obviously isn't focusing his attention to him and then everybody else. Now he's just giving it to the running backs, and they're opening up the game for him. Well, I hear what you're saying, though.
But then that goes a lot with the coach, right? Because the coach started running the ball a lot more after Beckham had, and we all know that you can't win without a running game. So they should have focused on the running game. When you have those two stud wide receivers, and even though Beckham may not be the greatest, he still demands that attention. You still got to double team him.
Maybe he was the reason why they weren't running, though. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I get it. But that again, that goes on the coach.
I agree with what you're saying, also to a certain extent, but I just think that the quarterback was trying to focus too much on making him happy, because whenever Beckham didn't get his touches or his targets, he over there kicking the doggone net and knocking over water tantrum. So that is a lot of distraction for some quarterbacks. All I'm saying is, in my eye test, it looked like Baker flourished after he did that, because he didn't have to worry about, instead of throwing Beckham 10 passes, I got to do that, but worry about throwing these 10 passes to these other 2 or 3 receivers, and they're going to fuss.
And 100%.
So the only way to prove our theories is next season we see when Beckham is back into the lineup, whether or not Baker has some of his same tendencies he had prior to Baker getting hurt, and when he had some after. And if Odell goes back there and they look less fluid than they did this year, then I'm going to say Beckham was a problem.
But I do agree with you. But at the end of the day, that goes on the coach. The coach has to put things in place to where it's like, listen, I know he may get mad, I know he may get this, but you're supposed to do what's better for the team.
Something I just recognized now. About a couple days ago, Anzo had a throne. Now I see he has a famous chair. Let's give him a hand. Yeah,
I see that.
Oh my goodness, that is awesome. Man.
Yeah, I'm looking for one too.
What happened was we were about to do a stream, and I was sitting on it. I know you guys were like, "Oh, it's a wood chair." No, but the wood chair had cushions, just to let you know, right? But I went and I sat on it, and I heard crack, 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 crack. So I turned off my camera real quick because I know if I continued, I was gonna fucking fall on the floor on the fucking stream. So I turned on my camera and I checked and I seen that the legs were breaking off. So I said, okay, it's time to get the chair.
Good deal.
Okay.
Good.
Good.
Okay.
I got
last
like 3 or 4 more office chairs here that I'll just keep switching if they go bad.
I got one old office chair at my old office. And
I start my show
down,
here,
I'm
and
going
by the end of the show, I'm down here. Then my wife gives me shit that I don't put the chair back up, you know?
Well, yeah, mine's like all the way up, but I need to actually just move mine. I need to do is move that down. So whatever.
Yeah, someone.
He has a nice little chair over there.
Yeah, one of
my
my
old office chair here.
one of my friends was watching. the show. One of my friends was watching one of the old shows and was like, "Yeah, man, you look like you're sitting in the chair from your grandma's kitchen." I was like, "Okay."
Because he got up one time, I said, "Damn, that shit look like a throne." He's sitting in there like he damn the Fresh Prince or something.
Yeah,
All right,
I need to get the things back so it looks like again.
Last question.
Ooh.
This should be next
versus
week.
Natural instincts. Who's gonna win? No, Super Bowl is Sunday, ain't it?
No, it's next week.
Next Sunday. Okay.
But we can do this one.
I'll do it.
Experience versus natural instincts. Who's gonna win? Predictions.
And
Who?
natural instincts.
And I.
That's what I think.
I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna say, "Hey, man, I think Mahomes is gonna do it," but Brady is proving that it's hard to fucking beat him in the playoffs, man.
I won't.
On the road.
Yeah,
He's not very good at home.
He's at home now.
Again, I don't know if that really means anything in this game or this season. Well, no.
High on that, winning on the road the whole playoff.
Yeah, I don't know.
How you're home. It doesn't matter because look, when I played sports, we played on the road. For whatever reason, we got a lot more pumped to humiliate them in their own than defend ours in our own. For whatever reason, I don't know why that is, but there's certain teams that excel on the road and suck at home, and it shouldn't really be that way.
Yeah,
I think that great players in any sport, and I've heard, in my mind, the greatest is Michael Jordan. If he didn't have a motivation, he would make stuff up, or he would pull clips of people saying something that could have been taken out of context. But Vin Diesel said that he hates my fucking car, so he'll take that and focus and harness it to whatever aggression that he needed. I think that Brady got a chip on his shoulder because he'd be the first, a second quarterback. Well, no, he could be the first quarterback to ever play in his home stadium in a Super Bowl. He'd be the second quarterback to ever win on 2 different teams. People already comparing him and Mahomes to Mahomes going to take over his throne. And also the thing that I think is really fueling him is that he has pretty much shut the people that said that Belichick was the driving force behind him. And maybe it's not because Belichick didn't have a good team. But the narrative is going to be Brady went to a team that was 7-9, turned around, and went to Super Bowl. Belichick ain't even sniffed the playoffs. So I think if Brady is a great player, which I think he is, he's going to use that motivation and come out here. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get him against the finish line, but I think if they make a mistake, Brady will capitalize. If Mahomes plays perfect and the team plays perfect, then I think they'll win.
One thing I'll say is I don't think Jordan ever really made anything up. I just think he used the headlines that were going on, right? Like Shaq made shit up. Shaq literally told people that David Robinson dissed him in high school and then came out and said that was a flat out lie, right? So I don't think Jordan went to that extent, but I think Jordan was like, "Oh, you gave this motherfucker an MVP? Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to your MVP type of thing." Oh,
That's
this guy's the leading scorer? Yes, exactly. Oh, this guy's the leading scorer of the league? Okay, well, I'm going to show you. So I think Jordan took more motivation in that, but Shaq literally made shit up. You know what I mean? Like Shaq literally came out and lied. So, but with that being said, you're absolutely right, man. Brady is.
I won't be surprised if Brady wins it.
You gotta have some kind of fuel. I don't know what Brady fuel is, but you can't sit here and tell me you're gonna do what he did and not have some kind of fuel.
No, he has fuel for sure.
I'm just saying. I mean motivational fuel. So
Yeah.
that's what I think it is. I think.
Well, here's the
way
thing:
Willard-
if Brady goes in and just thinks he's going to win it, I think that's the wrong way. But I don't think he's going to be like that. But here's the thing: with our team, if he throws 3 interceptions in this game, it's over.
Really, he threw 2, bro, because one of them was catchable and went off the man's fingertip.
It doesn't matter. It's an interception.
Okay,
and you know what?
I want you to have that same energy when it's reversed with Mahomes.
I agree with Donnie.
It is.
I agree with Donnie because sometimes those interceptions are not the fault of the quarterback. It's just a fact.
More often than not this year, his interceptions have been horrible passes.
Right in their hand, and they miss it. Now, if it's something that's thrown way off, I agree with you. It's the same way
He
like
has had horrible interceptions this
he
year.
has. But the backup quarterback for Kansas City had a horrible interception.
Oh God, that was
man. But he still made it up.
God,
All I'm
that's
saying
true.
is
Yeah.
that
Okay.
sometimes it's a horrible pass. If it's a horrible pass, then the quarterback need to eat that. But sometimes if I throw it at the sucker and it go through their hands or in the bread basket,
All right. So you want my prediction? You want my prediction? This is where I don't make predictions because it's my team involved and I believe in karma. I will not say that that Brady can't win this. I'm not going to say Mahomes isn't. And I will say in this game.
Ain't no fucking prediction then if you're saying that.
Wait, listen. I know that's what I'm saying. I'm not making a prediction. But in this game, I'm going to say this. We just talked about how the better team wins out in the 7-game series. I think in this game, the better quarterback will win.
Okay.
I think it's gonna come down.
And it's Kansas City.
Ultimately,
We're not talking all the time. We said better quarterback.
I think it's gonna come down. I think it's gonna come down to that because we're gonna have all 3 of our running backs back. We're gonna have all of our wide receivers back. The same thing with Tampa Bay.
Is Watkins still there?
Yeah. Watkins is going to be back in this. Bell's going to be in this, so we're going to have 3 running backs we can go and distribute it with, which is going to help us out. The only thing we're missing is a cornerback, but I think that the only one that I'm absolutely worried about in this game is Antonio Brown.
Isn't there someone on your offensive line, too, that's missing the game?
Yeah, Eric Fisher is.
Yeah.
And there's the one thing. But I have a feeling that if we have all of our wide receivers back, we can utilize Travis Kelce as a blocker. If we have our running backs, we can use the running back position as a blocking position. And I think they'll buy him enough time. I think it's going to take a few. I don't think we're going to get a lot of deep looks. But I'm going to tell you right now, last year they kept Kansas City away from doing all but 2 deep looks, and those 2 deep looks were good. And that if that type of thing happens, and if Brady makes, and that's why I'm saying Brady this year has made more often than not horrible passes that were intercepted. And I don't know. I'm not going to make an absolute prediction. I just think that I think it's going to be a great game. Of course, I want Kansas City to win, but I know just as well as anybody else out there right now, if anybody's going to beat them, Brady can do it.
I agree. I think this game is going to come down to defenses. I think the defense, whichever defense plays better, is going to be the winning team. Because there's a good chance that both quarterbacks can offset each other. You know what I mean? So I think
there's a good chance.
Be the better coach, and since Arian turned the coaching reign over to Tom Brady, it's gonna be Tom Brady versus Andy Reid. So,
well, Andy Reid has lost twice after bye weeks in the playoffs, and he's only lost 3 times during the regular season after bye weeks. So he is over 70%, I think, overall after a bye week in both playoffs and yeah,
Andy Reid
in
is a
regular
beast.
season.
Andy Reid is a beast.
So I mean, that's the other thing. Man, and like I said, our defense has stepped up, and I think that they held a lot back during the season, so they had all this extra stuff to go to. So I think if Tampa Bay comes in and prepares for the defense they saw in what was that, week 13, week 12, something like that. I don't know. I think, I mean, I don't know. This defense thrives for this. These quarterbacks, both of these defenses are going to thrive on this. Both of these quarterbacks are going to thrive on this. I would say, and every other damn Super Bowl where it's supposed to have been the matchup everybody wanted, it's lots of them are duds. This one I don't think is going to be a dud. I think it's going to be a very tough fought game. I think it's going to be moderately high scored in the 20s for both teams. And I would not be surprised if it goes down to Brady or Mahomes driving in the fourth quarter with less than 2 minutes trying to win the game. And if there is conspiracy to make games the way that the NFL wants it, I think they're going to give it to Mahomes in the fourth quarter, 2 minutes down, 3 points, 6 points down. And that would be the storybook way to pass the torch, if that's what the NFL is trying to do. Just saying. But man, I'm not going to do this. This is honestly, in my opinion, a pick 'em.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting game. I don't know. I don't know who. I'd be lying if I say I know who I want to win, but who I think is winning is totally opposite. I would like to see Tom Brady win, not just because I was going to rub it on Chris. Not that. That's just the icing on the top. I want to see it because it's going to make history in football. He's going to do some things that have never been done before. I don't know. Will we be living to see another quarterback come close to what he could possibly achieve should he win this? So I would like to see it for history's sake. Other things are just icing on the top, but for history's sake, I would like to see it.
Okay.
Well, I just looked it up, and it seems like Tampa Bay has a better defense than Kansas City. So, shit.
I'm scared of Kansas City. Kelsey, that little Tyreek Hill, them two little motherfuckers. That little motherfucker, man, he's just dangerous.
Well,
God.
you look at like what they did with Kelsey there at the goal line. He just tossed that right to him. Man, I don't know, man. The second you think you know what they're going to do on offense, and again, the plus side for Kansas City is they have everybody back. All those moving players are back. If Watkins wasn't in this, it'd be a different game. But they have.
Kansas City has proven that if Mahomes get knocked out for whatever reason, they still can go on. If Brady gets knocked out, that's a wrap.
Well, that's probably true too, but I don't want to. I don't want to see that. I want Kansas City.
But
I want this.
Seeing how they would have played against the Bills, I want to see it too, but we don't know what may happen because I didn't think that hit was enough for a concussion. But then they say once you get one concussion, you should set one to another one. I don't want to see that. I want to see future GOAT versus current GOAT. But I'm just saying, if Kansas City, for whatever reason, Mahomes get knocked out, I am still confident they can play and be competitive. If the others happen, then it's a wrap. I don't think their backup quarterback can do. I don't even know who he is.
That's the thing. I'm like, who is their backup quarterback, and has he even played a game this season? I don't think he has.
That's one thing Reed got kind of in his pocket.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guarantee you're going to see at least 2 gadget plays from Kansas City. I guarantee you. I know we're going to see one.
I would say so, but I don't know. And this defense, again, I don't know. Our defense, man, I didn't think they had it in them last year. I didn't think I looked at them again this year. I'm like, I don't see how the hell we're going to go up against Buffalo, and somehow they shut Buffalo down. And I don't know.
You might be quiet, man, Diesel. You ain't got nothing to say about it.
I'm waiting my turn.
Okay,
Sorry.
Here's your turn.
don't want to ask the question.
When you ask a question, it will be answered and thrown right back to you.
Sorry, Danny. I apologize today that BC Chronic has me a little bit separated from myself, and I occasionally leave. But I already gave my point. Is this regarding who's going to win?
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked Mahomes. I think that, like I said, they were the number one team all season. I don't see why they shouldn't finish number one. I would, for the reasons you mentioned, I wouldn't mind Brady winning either. I think this is probably one of the most neutral Super Bowls that I've witnessed, that I'm not really hoping for someone to lose, where it doesn't really matter who wins.
Well, this next question I'm gonna ask is gonna go for everybody, but except for Chris, I know what he's gonna say. Now, I'm not saying that to be funny, Chris. I'm not saying it to be funny. I really
Maybe.
know. No,
But
my question is, and I know you want to see Mahomes win. Who do you want to see win, Anzo and Mendiza?
Go ahead, Anzo.
Now, who do you think's gonna win? But who do you really want to see in your heart of hearts win?
I want to see Mahomes win. I don't want to see Brady win another Super Bowl.
Okay.
That's a tough one, Danny, honestly. I'd really like to just throw out Mahomes, but then again, for those reasons you mentioned, I think it's Brady.
but
Because
is,
who's ever really going to accomplish those things again and how many
It's been a long time.
you know?
It's
but
gonna be
at
a
the
long
same time, this is the passing of the torch of somebody that people revere as a great quarterback. Is the passing of the torch, isn't that just as important as those different records?
Well,
how many records does Brady have? How many records does he need?
I've seen too many guys go past their time and leave ugly. I want to see somebody leave pretty.
Yes.
Too many
Because
people.
I don't think Brady's the type that's going to leave pretty.
I think Giselle's going to pull his ass and say, listen, you're going to be a single motherfucker. You ain't going to see your kids. You better fucking make this your last season.
And what, you think this year?
What else could he do, Chris? What else could he do?
Why did he come back this season then? He said he wanted to play, and he doesn't.
Belichick
Day one, Belichick, Brady. From day one, who's going to win? Who's going to go further? Who's going to be the happiest? Who's going to make the most of it? It was from day one that, and now it's proven that Brady has a chance to squash that cigarette, not leave it there burning in the ashtray. Put that shit out.
Maybe.
I didn't need Belichick to win. I'm doing it on my own.
Preach, Roberto. Preach.
So let's say next year, Belichick comes back and is able to make it to the Super Bowl.
Doesn't
No,
matter.
I'm not saying it's no, but then he could look at them and go like, then what? He's going to come back and say, oh shit, I guess he can do it without me.
Really,
It's
nothing more for him to
That ain't
do.
gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen.
You know, if anything, we're going to put a scar on him.
Brady has a 2-year contract with Tampa Bay. I think he plays out for 2 years and then decides.
I don't know.
I think he retires. If you want to make this a fucking beautiful ending, win this. You can't do anything else on the record books, maybe yards and touchdowns, but big deal.
I think
You
if he
have
win
a
another, I think if he was to win this one and win another one, the next one he would win hypothetically in that conversation wouldn't be as good as this one. I don't think it. How much?
No,
more
but
would
I
it
just
add
don't
to it?
think that's where I go to Brady's. I just think I've seen the interviews where he said he came back not just, and maybe he doesn't say it, but he hasn't said Belichick. But yes, I agree that's part of it. But I think the other part is he says this is what I do. I don't think he leaves. A lot of people stated that Giselle literally was begging him to retire.
Yeah,
and
but
he
she
still didn't
doesn't
do it.
have a valid point. Now, imagine he came on TV and said, "You know what? I'm coming back this year just to win. First guy and win in his own stadium. You know, I'm going to be the first guy to win 7 Super Bowls. I'm going to be the second guy to win on 2 different teams. And who knows? Maybe I'll come back next year. Who's going to like this guy? Nobody.
I think he's here next year. I think he's back next year, win or lose.
But I think
Win or lose.
Giselle has, if she had any collateral, any pulling point that she could say, listen, it's this or else, it's this scenario. Because how else can he go out bigger than this?
Yeah, but that's
So what do you say if he's back next year? What do you say if he's back next year?
Back next year. Look, what are you going to say when he wins the Super Bowl? You were wrong?
What? I'm going to say he won the Super Bowl.
No, but you said he won it, so you have to say you were wrong.
I do agree with Chris. I think if he wins, whether or not he's going to fulfill his contract, and then he's going to decide whether he comes back.
It doesn't really matter what we say.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, he wins the Super Bowl and then says, "Oh, I'm retired." What kind of predicament does he put Tampa Bay in? You know what I
They
mean?
took a chance on him. They should have signed him for 1 year. Let him win his Super Bowl and go out. I mean, come on, guys. You really want to see Tom Brady go through?
How
being
conceited? How
another-
conceited would a team have to be to sign him to a 1-year contract?
That's my thing. But that's my thing. But that's my thing. If that was Brady's plan, then Brady would have signed for 1 year. He would have been like, "Yo, I just want 1 more year to prove." He would have told them that. It's not like he's the type of player that would just sit there and say,
I don't think he.
2-year contract. No, I don't think you're going to take a 2-year contract and be like, "Yeah, I'm going to take a 2-year contract," and then win Super Bowl and say, "Okay, guys, I'm out."
In all honesty, Enzo, when he signed with Tampa Bay, I don't think he thought he'd be where he is right now. He had no preseason. He had nothing to work with his team. He didn't know their books, didn't know their plays, didn't know shit. Based on history, I know he's a GOAT, but based on history, those were all the reasons for him to fail. So he could not have thought in his head, "I'm going to make it to the Super Bowl." Obviously you're going to disagree, but it's okay.
Yeah,
you can want to think that, but you can't know.
But neither can you, because look at the weapons.
That's right. So he can't say 1 year, but now that it happened, he can say that. I can retire now.
But look at the weapons he had. He wouldn't have went there if he didn't think he could win with them. He wouldn't have.
He didn't have Antonio Brown in the beginning of the year.
He didn't need Antonio Brown. They don't need.
But now you're saying the weapons he has. He didn't have all of them.
But he did. He had enough. He had enough to win. The only 2 pieces that are different right now are Antonio Brown and
my man over here didn't think he had enough to win. That's all I'm saying. A lot of people didn't think they were going to do what they did. Onzo, everyone said the best they could do is 10-6, right?
But that's him and that's us. But Brady is not that person. He's not.
We don't know what Brady's thinking.
He's not. Of course, because he wouldn't have went to Tampa Bay if he didn't think he would win. He would have won.
Let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. That's all we could do. We could argue out the ass. It doesn't mean we're right. We can only wait and see. But I think if anybody had a chance to retire, like you're fighting for a fight that everyone wanted to see, like if Pacquiao had originally fought Mayweather when they were supposed to fight, Pacquiao could have retired. He wouldn't still be trying to earn money. There's so many things. If it happened when it was supposed to happen, it would have been perfect. And I just think this is a perfect moment for Brady. I'm not guaranteeing he's going to retire, but if I were Brady, this would be a perfect way for me to do it. There's nothing else really I could do.
It would be, but you got to understand, this is in his blood. This is what he does. It's not that easy to just say, "I'm going to retire." Tim Duncan could have retired in 14.
Here we go.
No, listen to me. He could have retired in 14 when he won a championship that no one said they would win. He beat LeBron James. He could have went out perfect, but they are competitors. So I'm going to win a championship, but I want to repeat. I want to
see what Andrew Luck did?
Again.
Andrew Luck looked at his future, looked at his body, looked at his blessing, and counted them and left. Brady might do the same thing. That's all I'm saying, Gonzo.
Andrew Luck had no chance of winning 2 Super Bowls.
It doesn't matter. He counted his blessings. He turned down multi-million dollars.
But if he had a chance to win a Super Bowl, he might have changed that. You don't know that. He might have changed.
We don't know anything. That's what I'm trying to say. You're arguing like I have to believe you. I'm entitled to my opinion that I think this is the best way for him to go out. That's all.
But for you think that's the best way for him to go. But maybe that's not the best way for him to go out for him. This is what I'm saying. You think that, but
what do you think, Gonzo? What do you think? You think it's not the best for him. It's what you think. It's what you think. I can say the same thing. I can say the same thing.
Signed a 2-year contract. He's going to play out the 2 years.
So what? A contract means jack shit. Look at Bell. Look at Antonio Brown. Look at so many people who breached their contract. It means shit. You think he's worried about money? You think if Brady says I retire and Tampa Bay fines him $5 million for breach of contract, you think that hurts Brady? You think that even bothers him?
I don't care about that, but Brady.
That's what I'm trying to say. Contract means nothing.
I am telling you, Brady wants to win. He's a competitor. That's
How
why
do you know?
because he says it.
He called you up and told you he wants to win.
You don't have to call me up. You go look at his interviews. Just go watch.
I'll look at his interviews after the Super Bowl. That's what I'm going to do.
He tells you straight up before them. He wants to win. He's a competitor. If he wanted
Sometimes
to win,
people just come out of the blue and say, I retire.
if
Ray Lewis. Boom, I retire. Why, Ray? You still have many years in you. You have many, many more years. I retire. They just do it, man. They see a moment. I'm on top. Let me get out on top. Why should he come back next year and fail? And then he goes out on a failure. All he did was a waste.
Ray Lewis didn't retire on top.
No, he didn't?
No. He
When did he
retired.
retire? With a losing season?
Yes, he retired way after they won that Super Bowl.
Bring me the stats.
A better example would have been Megatron. But
I can't give all the perfect examples, but there's lots of people going on top. That's all I'm saying.
he got you.
But Megatron wasn't on top either.
I'm talking about the best, considered to be the best receiver in the NFL. He was in that category. I don't mean winning on top. I mean one of the better receivers in the NFL.
But when you're on a team that you know you can't win on, that's what Barry Sanders did.
But it's the love of the game.
But that's what Barry Sanders did. Barry Sanders, Detroit would not let them out of his contract. But if they would have let him out of his contract, he would not have retired. He retired.
Right. You're 100% right with that one.
He retired because Detroit wouldn't let them out of his contract. He's like, fuck that. I'm not playing for this organization. Yeah. And then, so.
They're trying to kill him. That damn piss poor offensive line, and you got to do all that juking and joking and all that kind of stuff. All right, sir. Gentlemen, we have been on here almost 3 hours. I think that's the longest square one we ever had. Very invigorating debate. A lot of good questions. Got a couple of questions from Mr. Knight. I got 3 from Anzo, and I came up with the rest. So another square one in the books. Before we close, I'm going to go around the panel. Let everyone say, shout out their channel, anything they want to say about upcoming streams. We get opportunity. I will start with Mr. My fellow Washington football team lover, Roberto Mendes.
What's up, people? Nothing but love on this show. He can give us some. He has every reason to hate us.
You saw he rolled his eyes and stuff? I got something for him.
We were the ones who stuck him in that undefeated tire.
You're right. You're right. What can I say? You're right.
He could hate us, and he has every reason to hate us because we were the reason for Pittsburgh's downfall. Whether we are or not, it just happened right after us. So I would have hated on him if the tables were reversed.
Okay,
but that's not where you can find me. That's not where you can find me. You can find me here on Saturdays, and you can find me on our fire show, me and Anzo, where we keep the fire the same way as we do here, Wednesday nights, 10 o'clock, off our chest. These guys join us here as well. Have a great time just speaking the peace. I appreciate Danny getting me into this and showing me the light and making me love being on Saturday and Wednesday nights. Anzo, thank you. And Chris, much love, brother.
Thank you.
Even though you hogged the highway today. It's all good, man. It's all good. What you said had to be heard, man. It's okay, man. This is a talk show.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
Not but love for you, brother.
Next, Mr. Knight. You got it.
I thought you were going to give me a time limit. Okay. Anyway, no.
Want one? I could.
No. Because I'm sure it'll be like a second. Real Review 3000 is my channel. Chaos Central, of course, with the Danny, Anzo, Mendiesel up there, Roberto. We got lots of different things going on. Guys, check us out. What can I say? Guys, please go and check everybody out on this panel. Sub to everybody. Ring the bell. That's the big one. Ring that bell. And I look forward to next week. Got 8 days left. 8 days left before we'll figure this out, and it's driving me nuts. I'm going to watch that game, and I'm going to be pounding my damn chair. I'm going to be like, motherfucker,
At least you could go to a bar and watch it. Fuck. We got to watch it.
I could, but I won't.
No fans.
I won't be doing that.
I have never, ever watched a Super Bowl at a bar.
I have.
No, we usually go to my friend's clubhouse.
Yep.
And we have like a huge screen TV, food, beer, all the boys. It's amazing time. It's going to be weird.
Last year, you guys came by me.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't. You were invited, but you didn't.
Oh, I came by you one year. I remember.
Yeah, you came by me. Right.
I went with the wife. We went to some bar and it sucked shit.
I'm gonna be sitting. I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna make some chicken wings. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl. And I'm not gonna cheer or jeer for anybody. I'm just gonna see who wins because I don't give a shit. If it ain't the Steelers in there, I don't give a shit who wins.
That must be nice because, jeez.
No, I would prefer the Steelers in there where I can fucking cheer for somebody.
My heart's gonna be.
It's been a long time since Danny and ours heart beat like that.
I know.
I can't remember the last time it did.
Yeah. I almost need a resuscitator.
Oh my God. Let's go back, man. I think I will do somersault shit like damn when Martin thought he won the damn lottery on the Martin show. Y'all might see me do that on the live stream. Ozzo, go next, bro. What you got?
What's up, guys? You know the channel, Bigger Ford Entertainment. Tomorrow we got WandaVision Roundtable, so I hope you guys check that out. It was a good episode. We're going to have some great conversation, but other than that, you guys know the shows, Rule of Three, Chaos List, Chaos Conversation, the OOC, which has been fucking fire for the past couple of weeks, you know what I mean? So they just trying to... Pardon me?
It's too hot for me.
It's okay, Danny. We're going to get you in there and get you burnt up a little bit. Don't worry. I get you burnt out a little bit. But yeah, I do appreciate everyone that's checked out the show. Do appreciate you guys checking out the show Square One today. It was a great show.
I'll tell you what, you're going to get him on not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. If Tom Brady wins, he's going to unload about it. Every chance he gets, he will unload on it.
I hope he don't win. I don't want to become that ignorant. Because I will become like, I can't stand that motherfucking Danny.
Finally!
Every time.
Just dawned on me. Let me get that out there, yo.
Finally. Jesus. Okay.
What?
Hold on. I'm going to put it in the chat. Give me a second.
I've been watching you too, Danny. I'm exploring in YouTube, you know. Now I know. Subscribe. And show the love. I'm gonna find you too, Chris. Don't worry. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna subscribe. I'm gonna show the love.
You're good. You're good.
I am Danny, aka Comic Chat. This is one of my shows. We have several with two of the guys here on the show. Anzo and Chris. Fourth member is Mr. Guy Star. He was in the chat today. Appreciate the support. Tomorrow, please come 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to support Anzo's show. The Wonder Roundtable. Like I'm gonna have to eat a little bit of crow, so I'm gonna bring some salt and pepper. But it'll be all right. Maybe the first time, won't be the last time. Monday nights catch my show, Chaotic Conversation. Tuesday nights, Chaos List. Wednesday nights, Rule of 3, 4, whatever it's gonna be. But I think whatever the new name is gonna be, you're gonna like it. Tonight I will be on Robert Storms. We'll be discussing episode 4 of WandaVision. So if you get an opportunity, please catch that. Also, just recently, and I usually am in bed sleeping, but I caught Comics Division show. What night was that? Saturday night, I think it was. No, the night Saturday. It had to have been Thursday morning, Friday.
It was Friday because I was watching WandaVision.
He had a very good panel on there. He had Robert Burnett from John Campia, Country Casino, and I can't think of the guy named Tom. And they're talking about racism, and it was very interesting to see the perspective of four white males. But they brought some intelligence. I would say
Actually, I kind of
four
disagree. Sorry, Danny.
I would say some insight on how they perceive racism, which was very enlightening to me. I've been invited on the show because I come from a little different perspective. Only being black, I'm a black cop in America, so I'm very interested in going on there. But I can't get in deep like I want to because I need my job. But check out Comics Division channel. That's cool, brother, man. I like him a lot, and he brings some good content. What were you saying, Hanzo?
Totally disagreed with what Tom was saying about
Yeah, like I said, 3/4.
the movie, about the movie Trading Places. I completely disagree. Yeah, he was saying, I don't remember you didn't twist that part, but he was saying it wasn't about racism. It was about who has more money or whatever you want to call it. But I'm like, yeah, that was part of it. But there was also the racist aspect where they thought that a black man could not do the job of a white man. That was included in that too. So that's all.
Well, I came in at the last 30 minutes of the show. But like I said, that topic is really what's the word I want to use? It can be explosive, uncomfortable, but it was on the show. I thought it was cool. I'm eager to go on there. Anzo's going to come on there as well. So if you get a chance, check it out whenever he invites us. Check it out. I think it'll be Monday at 8. What he told me.
So yeah.
Yeah. Again, thanks everyone that in the chat. We appreciate it. I think the chat got up to maybe 12 this time. But please, in the future, tell your friends, family, retweet out whenever I send it on Twitter. Share the link. The more the merrier. This was another outstanding show. It's always kind of funny to me to hear some of the things that are said. I'm like, I can't believe that was said. But anyway, it was fun. So until next week, we catch you. Be safe and peace.
We ain't got no more words for brothers that be stepping in friend. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, I for 95, 96. Word to Mother Soul Brother Records. My man Ram Bangers in the house. As we do it like